deadly mobile game. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 351 Store Upgrade, Part 2. Do you want to buy some potions to fight monsters? Zhang Mengdai asked Jin Ke. I originally wanted to buy some weapons, armor and the like, but the weapons in these stores are too bad without chips, and the variety of potions is not rich. Jin Ke answered Zhang Mengdai. These stores can be upgraded. After upgrading, you can buy better weapons, armor, more potions, and even chips. Zhang Mengdai answered Jin Ke. Store upgrade. How to upgrade? This was the first time Jin Ke heard Zhang Mengdai mention this. On the console, it's the console that can open the door. It can upgrade every store here. There are instructions on it, saying that after upgrading the store, you can buy more advanced weapons and equipment, more abundant potions, food and the like. Zhang Mengdai pointed to the birthplace room. Oh, there is such a good thing? Take master to see it. Jin couldn't help but be overjoyed, and hurriedly returned to the birthplace room with Zhang Mengdai. Zhang Mengdai operated the console to open the interface. After clicking a few times, the option to upgrade these stores really appeared. Not only can these shops be upgraded, but also the wild monster spawning areas outside can be upgraded, and this console can also adjust the layout of the regional modules. Of course, it has been set to automatically adjust once every 2 years. When Renfian came here, she was just an ordinary player. This courtyard was locked, and she couldn't find the key to enter. Zhang Mengdai is different. She is the guardian here and has control over the entire area. So when she verified her palm print, the console sounded Didi Mengman. Welcome back. Jin can even infer that Zhang Mengdai has more than one body in the human world. There should be many bodies, with the same name and similar personality, just like the many clones lying in the energy cabin in the basement. According to the female ghost teacher, the reason why she, a big boss of the energy clan, hides in the human world is to find a way to delay aging. I don't know if her constant rebirth in the human world is an attempt to delay aging. After finding out that the store can be upgraded, Jin Ke was very happy, but he soon discovered that Zhang Mengdai did not have absolute control over everything here, but only limited control. For example, the current weapon store is LV1. If you want to upgrade the weapon store from LV1 to LV2, you need 100,000 gold coins. The price for upgrading other stores from LV1 to LV2 is also the same. It is conceivable that upgrading from LV2 to LV3 will definitely require more gold coins. It seems that Jin Ke will have to enter the Nightmare Castle frequently to earn gold coins in the future. According to the information from the female ghost teacher, the time and space merchant will appear in the Dongling Mountain Maze in 10 days. Jin Ke originally planned to go directly to the Dongling Mountain Maze to explore the way after exiting the Nightmare Reincarnation game. Considering that the super enhanced version of the firebomb requires a large number of empty bottles, his current gold coins are not enough. Jin Ke decided to participate in the Death Reincarnation game again to earn more gold coins and raise enough money for the super enhanced version of the firebomb. If he had hundreds of super enhanced firebombs in his hand, Jin Ke felt that he could walk sideways on the first few levels of the Dongling Mountain Maze. 10 minutes later, Jin Ke appeared at the Death Classroom game scene again. He chose the Death Classroom game because he had played it once and almost knew what it was. The Death Classroom game only required 1 gold coin in 10 years of life as the principal. Even if he lost, he would only lose 1 gold coin in 10 years of life, which was within his tolerance. The Death Classroom game scene looked similar to the last scene, but the female ghost teacher on the podium was obviously not the same female ghost teacher at the scene last time. Although they looked similar, with long black hair, dark blue face, bleeding eyes and rotten mouth corners, a closer look would reveal that they looked different and their voices were also somewhat different. In addition, she obviously did not recognize Jin Ke, who was incarnated as Shan Yao. But it's not surprising. With so many players participating in the game, the female ghost teacher from the last round should have gone to host other games. It's impossible for Jin Ke to be randomly picked by her again. Then again, even if she is randomly picked again. She may not take special care of Jin Ke. Listening to the introduction of the female ghost teacher, Jin Ke found more differences. This class is not a Chinese class, but a biology class. The content of the game is no longer about explaining words, but something appears in everyone's mind. The rules are similar, describing such things, but not saying the name of such things. The female ghost teacher of the biology class is obviously much gentler than the female ghost teacher of the Chinese class. She doesn't speak so harshly and doesn't say much nonsense. She only introduces the rules of the game and then quickly starts the game. Jin Ke is still number 4 this time, but he no longer thinks that number 4 is an unlucky number. Last time he was also number 4, and he won in the end. Should he win again this time? He has a cheat, although it doesn't work, and has a Net clan leader as his apprentice, although he got him by trickery. Isn't it easy for him to win this kind of small competition? The winner of the first round is number 4. Please describe it. The female ghost teacher announced the result of the dice roll. Shit. Jin cursed inwardly. Being the first to be drawn, he was obviously at a disadvantage, because he didn't know what was in other people's minds, and he didn't know if he was a ghost. If he was a ghost, and the things he described were different from the things in other people's minds, it would be easy for other players to identify him. The 10-second countdown began, and Jin Ke didn't even have time to think. It looks like something very scary. Jin Ke described the things in his mind. Under normal circumstances, this kind of game would not make it too easy for players to tell who is a ghost. So although the things in the mind are different, they should be relatively similar. Jin Ke's description of it looks like something very scary covers a wide range. If the things in other players' minds are similar to his, they should also be. It looks like something very scary. Number 5. The ghost teacher called the next player's number. You might have nightmares after seeing this. Number 5 had enough time to think, and spoke immediately after the ghost teacher called the name. Number 6. The ghost teacher continued to call the number. Crawled out of the grave. Number 6's tone was a little flustered. Number 7. The ghost teacher continued to call the number. Wild monsters that often appear in the game. Number 7 also spoke quickly. Chapter 352, Perseverance, Part 3. Number 8. The ghost teacher continued to select numbers. A species. A human-like species. Number 8 was a little nervous. Number 1. The ghost teacher continued to select numbers. It can be used to show off if you draw it on your chest. Number 1 was confident. Number 2. The ghost teacher continued to select numbers. A very disgusting thing. Number 2 spoke up. Number 3. The ghost teacher continued to select numbers. It looks very ugly. Number 3 spoke up when the countdown was almost over. Hearing everyone's answers, Jin couldn't help but frown. The descriptions of number 7 and number 1 were a little strange, not like what he had in his mind. Please choose the ghost you think it is. The ghost teacher spoke up. A 10-second countdown began in everyone's mind, and 7 numbers appeared in their field of vision. In the end, Jin chose number 7. 3 votes for number 2, 2 votes for number 4, 2 votes for number 8, and 1 vote for number 7. Number 2 is out. The game continues. The ghost teacher quickly gave a verdict. Damn it, Jin cursed. He actually got 2 votes, and he was almost out. A rope suddenly lifted up player 2 and hung him on the ceiling. Then, a scalpel, a small electric saw and other objects operated by a mechanical hand appeared around him, stabbing and sawing him. Player 2 screamed loudly, and blood kept dripping from the ceiling. Excuse me. The female ghost teacher grabbed a remote control and pressed it at player 2. Player 2's screams suddenly became quieter, just like the volume of a TV was turned down. The result of the dice roll, this time starting from number 7. Attention! It cannot be the same or similar to other descriptions used, otherwise you will be judged out. The female ghost teacher announced as usual. Jin breathed a sigh of relief. The first round was too dangerous, and he actually started. The second round started from number 7, which meant that he could listen to the descriptions of most other people before deciding on his own description. Number 7. The female ghost teacher began to call out numbers. A kind of undead creature that can be summoned. Number 7 said. Number 8. The female ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. Headless. Number 8 said. Number 1. The ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. Lack of eyesight. Number 1 spoke at the end of the countdown, and it seemed that she was influenced by number 8. Number 3. The ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. Bald. Number 3 had a very proud expression. Number 4. The ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. Jin cursed in his heart, and then he was secretly happy. He had already discovered that he was the ghost among the 8 people in this round, and he also guessed what was in the minds of others, which was completely different from the one in his mind. No wonder number 7 and number 1 described it that way in the last round. Its brother is painted on the pirate flag. Jin quickly said his description. Number 5. The ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. That should be the companion of the necromancer. Number 5 stuttered. Number 6. The ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. Usually appears in Western ghost stories. Number 6 hesitated and described. Please choose the ghost you think it is. The ghost teacher spoke. A 10-second countdown began in everyone's mind, and 6 numbers appeared in their field of vision. Finally, Jin chose number 5. The reason for choosing number 5 was that he stuttered and his answer was suspected of plagiarizing number 7. Everyone present was more cunning than the other, and they would definitely suspect number 5. Jin voted for him to try to vote him out and successfully pass this level. 4 votes for number 5, 1 vote for number 1, 1 vote for number 4, and 1 vote for number 6. Number 5 is out. The game continues. The female ghost teacher quickly gave the verdict. Player number 5 screamed in pain, and then the female ghost teacher turned down his voice. I don't know which player has targeted me. He still voted for me. It looks like I'm in trouble. Jin frowned. It was obvious that his answer in the first round aroused the suspicion of a player. Although he tried his best to fit the ideas of others in the second round, the smart player still did not give up identifying him. The result of the dice roll, this time starts from number 3. Note, it cannot be the same or similar to other descriptions used, otherwise it will be judged out. The female ghost teacher announced again. Number 3. The female ghost teacher began to call out the numbers. Only teeth and no lips. Number 3 racked his brains to describe it, and the more he went on, the harder it became to describe it. Number 4. The female ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. The favorite of the male students in the medical school. Jin answered quickly. Number 6. The female ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. I can't eat anymore. Number 6 managed to say. Number 7. The female ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. The body is very white. Number 7 said and breathed a sigh of relief. Number 8. The female ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. Damn, but can play the piano. Number 8 wanted to say what number 7 said, and after cursing, he had to change his words temporarily. Number 1. The female ghost teacher continued to call out numbers. Expressionless. Number 1 said an idiom again. Please choose the ghost you think it is. The female ghost teacher spoke. A 10-second countdown began in everyone's mind, and 5 numbers appeared in their field of vision. In the end, Jin chose number 8. I hope others will choose number 8 too. Number 8 has 4 votes. Number 4 has 1 vote, and number 6 has 1 vote. Number 8 is out. The game continues. The ghost teacher quickly made a decision. Player number 8 screamed, and then the ghost teacher turned down his voice. Which bastard has been watching me vote? Jin looked around, and he was really persistent. The result of the dice roll, this time starting from number 6. Note, it cannot be the same or similar to other descriptions used, otherwise it will be ruled out. The ghost teacher announced again. Number 6. The ghost teacher began to call the numbers. The soup doesn't have the smell of meat. Number 6 was very nervous after being called, but it seemed that he had been prepared. Number 7. The ghost teacher continued to call the numbers. It makes a creaking sound when walking. Number 7 was also very nervous, and his voice was trembling. Number 1. The ghost teacher continued to call the numbers. This thing doesn't eat or sleep. Number 1 held back 4 words. Number 3. The ghost teacher continued to call the numbers. It's a cannon fodder on the battlefield. Number 3 also answered with some difficulty. Number 4. The ghost teacher continued to pick numbers. Often appears in the cemetery of the game world. Jin answered in a proper manner. Please choose the ghost you think it is. The ghost teacher spoke. A 10-second countdown began in everyone's mind, and 4 numbers appeared in their field of vision. In the end, Jin chose number 3. 2 votes for number 1, 2 votes for number 3, and 1 vote for number 4. Chapter 353 200 gold coins. 4th update. Number 1 and number 3 have the same number of votes. Please add a sentence to the description, and then number 4, number 6, and number 7 will vote again. The female ghost teacher announced. Number 1 and number 3 looked depressed. Jin Ke was also depressed, and then he found that number 1 glanced at him unwillingly. Number 1, give your additional description. The female ghost teacher clicked the number. The naked and extremely smooth body cannot arouse any sexual interest in me. Number 1 said a long description. It is really tiring to describe the same thing repeatedly like this, and then not mention the name of this thing. Number 3, give your additional description. The female ghost teacher continued to click the number. Generally speaking, this thing wins by quantity. Number 3 also gave his description. Please vote again. Number 4, number 6, and number 7. The female ghost teacher announced. Jin Ke voted for number 1 without hesitation. He had a feeling that the person who voted for him persistently must be number 1. If he voted for number 1, he would be much safer. 2 votes for number 1, 1 vote for number 3. Number 1 is out. The game continues. The ghost teacher quickly made a decision. Player number 1 screamed, and then the ghost teacher turned down his voice. Great, number 1 is out. Jin Ke was secretly happy. He was one step closer to victory. As long as he won this round, he could earn the money for the firebomb in the Dongling Mountain Maze. The result of the dice roll, this time starting from number 4. Note, it cannot be the same or similar to other descriptions used, otherwise you will be judged out. The ghost teacher announced again. Number 4. The ghost teacher began to count the numbers. When exploring the secret realm of the game, there are often several bodies sitting on the roadside as background. Jin Ke was almost tracking his brains. Number 6. The ghost teacher continued to count the numbers. After a person dies, his flesh is scraped dry and he becomes this thing. Number 6 also had an extremely distressed expression. Now they can no longer care about revealing the image in their minds. The most important thing is to prevent themselves from being suspected and eliminated. Number 7. The ghost teacher continued to count the numbers. I should have been lying down, but now I'm standing and running. Number 7 was also holding back his words. Number 3. The female ghost teacher continued to select numbers. After I die, if I'm not cremated and left for decades, I'll become like this. Number 3 was also constipated. Please choose the ghost you think it is. The female ghost teacher spoke. A 10-second countdown began in everyone's mind, and 3 numbers appeared in their field of vision. In the end, Jin Ke chose number 7. He voted randomly. 2 votes for number 7, 1 vote for number 3, and 1 vote for number 6. Number 7 is out. The game continues. The female ghost teacher quickly made a decision. Player number 7 screamed in various ways, and then the voice was turned down by the female ghost teacher. Jin Ke let out a long sigh, and his vote finally disappeared. It seemed that the one who voted for him persistently was number 1. Fortunately, he was eliminated in the last round, otherwise it would be really troublesome later. Only number 3, number 4, and number 6 are left, but the ghost still hasn't shown up. Now we're entering the final round. If the ghost is still not identified in this round, then the ghost wins this round. He will win 7 gold coins from the others, and also win the total lifespan of 70 years from the others. The result of the dice roll, this time starting from number 3. Note, you can't use the same or similar descriptions as other people, otherwise you will be ruled out. The female ghost teacher announced again. Number 3. The female ghost teacher began to point out the numbers. There is an idiom called red powder or something. Number 3 said his description. Number 4. The female ghost teacher continued to point out the numbers. In Journey to the West, the monster that Sun Wukong beat 3 times looks similar to this monster. Jin Ke racked his brains. Number 6. The female ghost teacher continued to point out the numbers. If I lose 10 games in a row, I will turn into this thing. Number 6 also racked his brains. Please choose the ghost you think it is. The female ghost teacher spoke. A 10-second countdown began in everyone's mind, and two numbers appeared in their field of vision. Jin Ke picked one at random, and ended up choosing number 3. 2 votes for number 3, 1 vote for number 6. Number 3 and number 6 are out. Game over. The ghost teacher quickly made a decision. Players number 3 and number 6 screamed, and then the ghost teacher turned down their voices. Congratulations to number 4 for winning this round of the game. You won 7 gold coins and a reward of 70 years of life. Hehehe. Although I won the last round by guessing, this round, I won the final victory by my own wisdom. Jin Ke looked very proud. Will you exchange your life for gold coins? 1 year of life can be exchanged for 10 gold coins. The ghost teacher asked Jin Ke. 1 year of life can be exchanged for 10,000 gold coins. Jin Ke and the ghost teacher started to bargain. If they change people, maybe this one could bargain. 1 year of life can only be exchanged for 10 gold coins. The ghost teacher didn't give in at all. Do you have to exchange? Jin Ke asked the ghost teacher. You don't have to change. If you don't, the game will automatically end after the 5-minute execution period, and you will leave here. If you want to change, you can find me anytime within these 5 minutes. The female ghost teacher looked indifferent. It seems that this person is different from the previous one. She does not have a strong desire to exchange life with Jin Ke. Jin Ke calculated in his mind. Before he participated in this round of games, he had 109 gold coins. He invested 1, earned back the principal and earned 7 more. He already had 116 gold coins. 100 gold coins were used to buy super enhanced fire bombs, and the remaining 16 were used to buy empty bottles. With the 2 empty bottles in his hand, he could make 18 fire bombs by himself, but it is estimated that 18 fire bombs will not be enough for him to use in critical moments when he enters the 5th and 6th floors of the Dongling Mountain Maze. At least 100 should be stored, right? In addition, he needs the principal to participate in the Nightmare School and Nightmare Hospital games to earn more gold coins for store upgrades and the like. So, although it is not cost-effective, it would be better to exchange some more gold coins. How much should I exchange? 20 years of life for 200 coins. Anyway, these lifespans are all one, and they cannot be exchanged for gold coins elsewhere. Last time, I won 70 years of life, and I still have 60 years. This time I won another 70 years of life. Jin Ke has 130 years more life than others, and 20 years less is nothing. And now that he has the capital, he can participate in the Nightmare Reincarnation game with a bigger stake, right? The bigger the stakes of the Nightmare Reincarnation game, the greater the reward after winning. Chapter 354 Database, 5th update. Jin Ke felt that he seemed to have embarked on a road of no return. Perhaps one day he would be like the man next door, losing all his capital, even all his lifespan, thinking that he had seen through everything, that all games were scams, and becoming extremely decadent. However, Jin Ke firmly believed that he would not end up like that. He was a player with a very high luck value. Even without plugins, he could win 2 games of Nightmare Classroom with luck and wisdom. Maybe he could easily win the following games. Apart from anything else, he was chosen to be a ghost in both Nightmare Classroom games, and he won them all. How low would the probability be for this to work? Gritting his teeth, Jin Ke took out 20 years of lifespan and exchanged 200 gold coins from the female ghost teacher. The female ghost teacher did not look excited, and accepted Jin Ke's transaction application as if it was a formality. You got a great deal. Don't you have any extra benefits for me? Jin Ke did not confirm the transaction immediately, but bargained with the female ghost teacher. You don't want to exchange it? Then cancel it. The female ghost teacher had a faint indifferent expression on her face. Jin Ke cancelled the transaction. The female ghost teacher still had an indifferent expression on her face. She was neither happy nor angry about Jin Ke's cancellation of the transaction. She quietly waited for the remaining torture time of other players on the ceiling to end. Compared with the indifferent attitude of this female ghost teacher, Jin Ke felt that the female ghost teacher in the last round of the game was much cuter. In order to exchange for 10 years of life, she gave Jin Ke so many extra benefits. But this time, Jin Ke took the initiative to give away 20 years of life, but she had an indifferent expression. If I had known that at the end of the last game, I would have exchanged these 20 years of life for the female ghost teacher. Maybe I could have cultivated some feelings and obtained more and more useful information from her. What a regret. There was no way. Jin could only initiate the transaction again and exchange 200 gold coins with the female ghost teacher. Teacher, are you from the Nen tribe? Jin was able to speak now, and the execution time for the others had not yet ended, so he decided to take this opportunity to take the initiative to chat with the female ghost teacher. No, the female ghost teacher actually took up Jin's words. Although this female ghost teacher was not interested in exchanging lifespans, she did not seem as vicious as the female ghost teacher in the previous round. Maybe he could get some information from her without giving her any benefits. Are there any substitute teachers in the classroom who are members of the Nen tribe? Jin continued to ask the female ghost teacher. The noble Nen tribe? Are you kidding? Doing such a lowly job here? The female ghost teacher looked very strange to Jin for asking such a question. Then what tribe are you from? Jin asked. What tribe? I was originally a player like you, and I served labor here after losing the game. Then what tribe am I? Human? The female ghost teacher answered Jin. What do you want these lifespans for? Jin continued to ask the female ghost teacher. It's useless. I'm just exchanging with you according to the system regulations. Is there a task stipulated in the system? If you exchange more lifespans, you can reduce your labor period. Jin felt a little strange. Why did the female ghost teacher who taught Chinese force him to exchange 10 years of lifespans with her, and even provided him with 2 very important pieces of information? No, the female ghost teacher shook her head. In other words, the lifespans you exchanged are collected into the system and do not belong to you personally. Jin felt more and more strange. Why are you asking so many questions? Is there any bad intention? The female ghost teacher seemed to be alert. No, in the last round, I didn't really want to exchange gold coins, but the teacher who taught the class insisted that I exchange 10 years of lifespans for her. This time, you didn't care. I just thought it was strange. Jin simply told the story in general. Generally, few players exchange their lifespan for gold coins. You will find it is not worthwhile later. The one you mentioned should have collected it for a friend, but no one was willing to exchange it for her, so she forced you to give her lifespan. You don't have to give it to her. If you win the game, she can't punish you outside the rules. The female ghost teacher answered Jin. I see, I understand. Thank you. Jin thanked the female ghost teacher for her explanation. You're welcome. This female ghost teacher's personality is obviously very different from the previous one. I'll give you 2 years of lifespan as a token of my gratitude. Jin initiated a transaction with the female ghost teacher. No matter where you are, giving gifts is inevitable. It would be unreasonable not to thank the other party for being so sincere. You can't give it. The system has long had regulations in this regard, which restricts us from forcibly asking students for lifespan. If you want to give me these 2 years of lifespan, I must give you 20 gold coins for the transaction to succeed. I don't have any gold coins in my account now, so you should keep them yourself. The female ghost teacher refused the transaction. So there is such a restriction? Jin suddenly realized. So, don't think about bribing me and asking me to give you some benefits. It's useless. After the game starts, everything is supervised by the system. We are just executing the rules on behalf of the system. We can't give you any preferential treatment outside the rules. The female ghost teacher continued to say a few words. You were also a player before? Your level is very high, right? Have you reached test level? Jin took advantage of the time and continued to ask the female ghost teacher. Of course, if you ask some seemingly insignificant questions, if the questions are too sensitive, she probably won't answer. Can you enter the nightmare castle if you are not S level? Huh? You are an exception. The female ghost teacher seemed to notice Jin's information at this time. It seems that the students' information should appear in their minds in real time. I was teleported in from the teleportation platform of the Nen tribe. Jin carefully observed the changes in the female ghost teacher's expression. Oh, no wonder. The female ghost teacher did not seem to be particularly interested in the teleportation platform of the Nen tribe, nor did she seem to want to bring up more topics. Do you know the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth? Jin took the initiative to find a topic. I don't know. The female ghost teacher shook her head. Can't you find it in the database? What database? The teacher I met in the last round knew the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth, and also knew the specific time when the time-space merchant appeared inside. Jin Ke was a little surprised how the female ghost teacher who taught Chinese knew this information. She must have often wandered around the labyrinth you mentioned before. She is more familiar with the situation inside. The female ghost teacher looked disapproving. Chapter 355 Luo 7 Station, 6th Update. Jin Ke almost understood that everything the female ghost teacher knew in the last round might be related to her own experience, not from the information provided by the system. It seems that the female ghost teacher in the last round also wandered around the Green Plain shelter before being trapped in the nightmare reincarnation game. Otherwise she would not know the Dongling Mountain maze so well. Are you also wearing some kind of mask, so you all look like female ghosts to us? In fact, there are both men and women among you? Jin Ke asked. You guessed it right. I am a handsome guy wearing a designated teacher mask. The female ghost teacher answered Jin Ke. Jin Ke didn't know what to say. Okay, time is up. The people above can come down. The female ghost teacher looked at the time and let the 7 players who were being tortured up there down. It was not my idea to put you up there to be tortured. It was a mandatory requirement of the system. I am just the executioner, so if you have any complaints, don't come to me. The female ghost teacher said a few words to everyone. It's so fucking sour. Alas, I lost again. I won a few games when I first came in, and then I kept losing. Nonsense. If I don't let you win a few games, you won't play anymore. 9 out of 10 bets are lost. It's true. Hey, are you the ghost? What image appeared in your mind? The 7 players complained after being tortured, and they also wanted to figure out how they lost. Is it a skull that appeared in your mind? Jin confirmed to the 7 players. Yes. What did you see in your mind? The 7 players asked Jin back. I won't tell you. You'll die of suffocation. Jin laughed. Don't. The others had the urge to strangle Jin to death at this time. Who told you to express it so clearly? I guessed it in the second round. You deserve to lose. Jin continued to be naughty. TSK. You're a new player, right? Don't be too proud. New players will win a few games when they first join the game, and then they will keep losing until they cry. That's right. There will be a time for you to cry. Forget it. What the hell? The other players were angry. It's time to end the get out of class. Everyone please go back. At this time, the female ghost teacher announced the end of the get out of class. After a trance, Jin Ke returned to the bed in the prison and woke up. Jin Ke first walked to the terminal and turned on the terminal to check the balance of gold coins in his account. As soon as he turned on the terminal, a message popped up. Congratulations, you won the death reincarnation game again. You got 10 points, and the total points are currently 20. Although the total points are 20, there are no new functions and scenes unlocked. However, the number of gold coins in Jin Ke's account has reached 316. You can go to the pharmacy to spend some. After confirming the exit on the terminal and lying on the bed next to him, Jin Ke was in a trance and then exited the nightmare castle. Jin Ke returned to the courtyard, went to the pharmacy, bought a bottle of super enhanced fire bomb, found an open space to throw it out, quickly picked up the empty bottle and looked at the runes inside that had not yet dissipated, and then took a screenshot of it with his mobile phone. Zhang Mengdai used the empty bottle to test it, and it was indeed successful. However, such a super enhanced fire bomb actually requires 30,000 energy points to make. 30,000 energy points, only 6,000 damage when thrown out. This is not cost effective. You know, the fireball spell only needs 10,000 energy points, but it can cause 50,000 damage. Depressed. It seems that it is impossible to make hundreds of them on a large scale. At most, I can make 10 and keep them on my body for self-defense at critical moments. 10 also requires 300,000 energy points. If it weren't for the last tour, Dao gave Jin Ke 1.2 million energy points. Jin Ke would not even be willing to make 10. For the mission of Dongling Mountain, these 300,000 energy points are still worth it. Jin Ke spent 100 gold coins to buy a super enhanced fire bomb, and 7 gold coins to buy 7 empty bottles. There are now 209 gold coins left out of the 316 gold coins in his account. Now Jin Ke has 10 empty bottles, which can be used to make 10 super enhanced fire bombs. Do you want to buy another super enhanced version of the sealing vein spirit? If you are besieged by a group of strong men, a super enhanced version of the sealing vein spirit will be very useful. Buy 1 bottle, and find a way to earn gold coins later. After getting the super enhanced version of the sealing vein spirit, Jin Ke used it up and quickly picked up the empty bottle to look at the runes inside that had not yet dissipated, and then took a screenshot of the phone. A super enhanced version of the sealing vein spirit requires 64,000 energy points to make. The things in the nightmare castle are indeed good, but they are too expensive to use. It feels like throwing money away. Jin Ke thought that he could use these stores to earn some energy points. For example, use the empty bottles to make potions, take them to the black market to sell, and earn energy points. For example, I could sell the black equipment in the store on the black market to earn energy points. Those were the things to consider next. Now that I had made all the preparations to go, I should go to the Dongling Mountain Maze to explore the way. King Moss Mountain Base, Security Department. The closest station to the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth, which is under the jurisdiction of the Green Source Shelter, is the Luo 7 Station. The Luo 7 Station belongs to the Yuliuan Sanatorium. I checked and found that the Luo 7 Station just happened to have a mission. We can take it and then stay at the Luo 7 Station legally and reasonably. The Yuliuan base is adjacent to us. The Luo 7 Station under its jurisdiction is located on the edge of the entire Green Source Shelter close to the next door Huoyan Shelter. This station is between our 2 bases and is even closer to us. The relationship between the Green Source Shelter and the Huoyan Shelter is not very good. A few days ago, a group of refugees who fled from the Huoyan Shelter had some disputes when trading with the Luo 7 Station of the Yuliuan base and threatened to smash the Luo 7 Station. These stations have limited energy reserves, and they are only used to protect the energy from the darkness of the night. They cannot effectively resist the attacks of refugees. To defend against the harassment of these refugees, we mainly rely on manpower. The person in charge of the Luo 7 post station is a D-class soldier named Wei. He has a rather violent temper. After a conflict with the refugees, he led the main defense force of the post station to attack the refugee gathering place, but he disappeared. He is most likely killed in the line of duty. None of his men came back alive. Now there are only some weak civilian staff left in the Luo 7 post station. According to the information, the Yuliuan base gave great support to the Qingtashan base before it developed. Our Qingtashan base is closer to the Luo 7 post station of the Yuliuan base. The Yuliuan base sent us a message for help, asking us to arrange personnel to help defend against the attacks of the refugees. Chapter 356 Departure 7th update. These refugees are not of high level. I heard that their leader is only at D level. These refugees threatened to destroy the Luo 7 post station, but they may not really attack the post station. In addition, Yuliuan will send more people to the Luo 7 post station to assist in the defense. They are the main force of defense. Our people are just to assist in the defense. This is a very simple task. You only need to guard it for 3 days. No matter whether the refugees attack or not, you can return to the base to receive the task reward after 3 days. Jin Ke was going to explore the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth, but he must find a place to stay first, so he asked Zhu Shu to pay attention to the situation of the few post stations closest to the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth. When Zhu Shu was looking up the information, he happened to find a task, so he reported the task to Jin Ke in full. Since the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth is near the Luo 7 post station, or more precisely, it is located within the area of the Fire Rock Shelter, Jin Ke just took this task to go to the Luo 7 post station and take a walk in the maze to try his luck. According to the map provided by the base, it takes about 10 hours to reach the Luo 7 post station from the base at the walking speed of an E-level warrior. After Jin Ke puts on the speed runner, it should be possible to shorten the time to 8 hours. The post station number is composed of the pinyin abbreviation of the base where it is located plus a number. The pinyin abbreviation of Yuliu is YLC, and the pinyin abbreviation of Qingtai Mountain is QTS. Between Qingtai Mountain Base and Luo 7 post station, there is Qingtai Mountain's own post station, QTS-05 post station. It takes about 7 hours to travel from Qingtai Mountain Base to QTS-05 post station, and 5 hours to travel from QTS-05 post station to Luo 7 post station. The extra 2 hours are because QTS-05 post station is not on the direct route between Qingtai Mountain Base and Luo 7 post station, and it takes a detour to get there. Under normal circumstances, it would be better to go to QTS-05 to rest for a night before going from Qingtai Mountain Base to Luo 7 station. After all, it takes a long time to go directly from Qingtai Mountain Base to Luo 7 station. The darkness of the night starts at 6 p.m. and ends at 6 a.m. If you set out at 6 a.m., you will arrive at 4 p.m. With Jin's speed, you should arrive at 2 p.m. This is if there is no emergency. If you encounter any emergency and are delayed on the way, you may not be able to reach Luo 7 station before the darkness falls at 6 p.m. After looking at the map, Jin Ke decided to set off at 6 a.m. tomorrow and go directly to Luo 7 station. Of course, during this process, he will look at his own travel situation. If he estimates that his speed can reach the area where QTS-05 station is located in 5 hours or even shorter, he will not go to QTS-05 station to stay overnight. If not, for the sake of safety, he will take a detour to QTS-05 station to rest for a night. The roads outside have been in disrepair for a long time and are no longer passable by vehicles, so people can only walk. During the time Jin Ke was at the King Mas Mountain Base, he heard about some super large shelters located in the center of the continent, with a large population and abundant supplies. In the early days, they tried to build large roads and even railways between the post station and the nearby shelters to transport people and supplies. However, after night, some large monsters that only appear in the black fog at night will destroy these roads and railways, causing the investment in road construction to be lost. These monsters that only appear at night are called night monsters. No one has ever seen their true appearance. They can only be inferred from the howling sounds coming from the black fog and the degree of damage they cause to the road surface. Perhaps they do not exist at all. Later, no shelter continued to try to build roads on the ground. Even if they did, they would only build a short distance. At night, they even had to set up energy shields for these roads to avoid damage from night monsters. That night, Jin Ke absorbed the energy points in the energy core and made 10 super enhanced fire bombs and 2 super enhanced vein sealing spirits for self-defense. At 6 o'clock the next morning, Jin Ke set out. In order to avoid the full set of purple leather armor speeder being too eye-catching, Jin Ke put on a slightly larger old leather jacket over the purple leather armor. In the game world, only assassins, shooters and mages can use this method to hide their equipment. It is more difficult to hide the metal plate armor of tanks and warriors. Of course, Jin Ke did not take this task in his real identity, but took this task in the identity of Ji Mengnan, a new student at the base. When he went out, he also used Ji Mengnan's face. Now there are too many people paying attention to him, so he must keep a low profile when he goes out. After leaving the base, on the screen of Jin Ke's watch, both Luo 7 and QTS-05 stations were displayed with green dots, and there was also a virtual route. As long as you lock their approximate location and don't leave the virtual route too far, you can ensure that you will not get lost. This was the first time that Jin Ke had traveled a long distance alone in the wild of the game world. If he had just entered the game, he would definitely not go out for adventures like this, but now he has successfully mastered the 3 professions of assassin, mage, and archer, and has a full set of assassin black leather armor, purple leather armor, orange dagger, pure heart, orange staff, and a black bow and arrow. Ordinary wild monsters can no longer pose a threat to him. Even if he encounters a zombie tie led by a mutant black corpse, he can easily harvest it. Other wild monsters. It is said that they have not appeared in the jurisdiction of the Moss Mountain base for a long time. If he encounters someone with bad intentions who wants to rob him in the wild, I am afraid that it will not be Jin Ke who is unlucky, but the person who robs him. In order to reach the destination as soon as possible, Jin Ke has been trotting all the way. Trotting is faster than ordinary walking, but it consumes much less physical strength than running at full speed. It is the most suitable way for Jin Ke to travel under the current circumstances. If he releases the skills Death Charge and Rolling Assault, Jin Ke can move forward more than 10 meters in an instant, and it doesn't consume much physical strength, but it consumes energy points. Jin Ke carries a lot of energy cores. Considering that these energy points will be used to release various assassin skills and mage skills in case of any emergency, Jin Ke is not going to waste energy points on walking. The wild is desolate everywhere, and the darkness at night makes it impossible for wild animals to survive. So even in the daytime, it feels like the whole world is still in a state of death. There is no wind today, and the sun in this world is always dim like a white light point, which can't bring much vitality to the ground. After leaving the base far away, the surroundings are so quiet that Jin Ke can only hear his own breathing and heartbeat, and no other sounds. Chapter 357 Additional Attributes. Half an hour later, Jin Ke passed by a building ruin in the wild. A dozen black corpses were wandering in the building ruins. When they saw Jin Ke, they immediately howled and rushed towards him. Jin Ke still remembered the scene when he and Zheng Shidao first went out and encountered black corpses in the back mountain. Although Zheng Shidao protected him at that time, he was still very nervous. His state of mind now is completely different from that time. Although he is alone now, Jin Ke rushed forward, gathered a dozen black corpses together, and threw a deadly salvation. A dozen black corpses shook for a long time before walking out of the green fog, and then fell to the ground one by one. A dozen groups of black fog escaped from the black corpses and drilled into Jin Ke's body, adding dozens of energy points to Jin Ke's account. Why didn't a mutant black corpse appear? Jin Ke shook his head and continued to rush forward. Along the way, Jin Ke only encountered scattered black corpses. There was no scenery to speak of along the way. He climbed over a dirt slope, then another dirt slope, or past some very old ruins. The style of the picture in his field of vision was similar to some apocalyptic games that Jin Ke had played before. The difference was that he was now in this world. At 11 o'clock in the morning, Jin Ke sat down beside a stone and ate some food he brought with him, preparing to take a short rest to recover his strength before continuing on his way. The journey was smoother than Jin Ke had imagined. In 5 hours, he had crossed the boundary of the area where the QTSO5 post station was located. Judging from the current progress, he did not need to detour to the QTSO5 post station to rest for a night, and could go directly to his target location, the Luo 7 post station. At the current speed, he could reach the Luo 7 post station around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The refugees who besieged the Luo 7 post station were only about D level at most, and they were not a threat to Jin Ke at the moment. Completing this task was just a piece of cake. After completing the task, he would stay in the post station for a few days to explore the way to the Dongling Mountain Maze. Just as Jin Ke was resting, a dozen people came over from a distance. The dozen people were holding various primary weapons in their hands. Jin Ke could recognize them as employees of the Qingtai Mountain Base by looking at their uniforms. Judging from the time, they could not have come here from the Qingtai Mountain Base. Then there was only one possibility, that they were employees of the QTSO5 post station. Generally speaking, there were only a few dozen people in a post station, and the most were no more than 100 people. Huh? There's a person over there. Someone in the crowd saw Jin Ke wearing the uniform of the base. Are you coming from the base? I haven't heard that the base sent someone to QTSO5 post station today for a mission. Could it be a spy? Let's go over and ask. A group of people surrounded Jin Ke vigilantly. The archer had his arrow on the string. The warrior held the hilt of his knife in his hand, and the assassin quietly circled behind Jin Ke. They are all well trained. If the target dares to act rashly, a bunch of skills will drain his health in an instant. Jin continued to eat his food and did not panic or run away because of their approach. "Are you from the base?" A man who looked like a leader walked towards Jin Ke and asked Jin Ke. This man was called Liu, the person in charge of QTSO5 post station. Jin Ke looked up at Liu, and Liu subconsciously took 2 steps back after seeing Jin Ke's face. "What's the matter?" Jin Ke pretended to be unhappy. "Do you have the mission document?" Liu was obviously checking the identity. Jin Ke appeared in his territory wearing the base uniform. It would be his dereliction of duty if he didn't check it clearly. "Not really? Am I this scary?" Jin Ke reached into his clothes and actually took out the mission document that Zushu gave him from the storage bracelet and handed it to Liu. "Your name is Ji Mengan. Are you going to the Luo 7 post station for a rescue mission?" Liu checked the mission document and handed it back to Jin Ke after confirming that there was no problem. "Yes." Jin Ke put away the mission document and continued to eat his food. Seeing that Liu confirmed Jin Ke's identity, the others gathered around. After seeing Jin Ke's appearance, they all showed extremely horrified expressions. Jin Ke looked around at everyone and found that every time he glanced at one of them, that person would unconsciously take a step back and subconsciously put his hand to cover his mouth or widen his eyes. Additional attributes of the nightmare mask: scaring effect. It's so tragic to look like this. Yeah, I was shocked when I saw it. I've never seen such an ugly person in my life. You'll regret it for half a year after you look at it. Be careful when you speak. Don't let others hear you and hurt your self-esteem. More than a dozen people murmured in a low voice. After being shocked and frightened, they looked at Jin Ke with sympathy. "When did you enter the base?" Liu sat down on the ground and asked Jin Ke again. "I entered the base yesterday." Jin Ke registered Ji Mengan's new face at the base yesterday. "Entered the base yesterday? Did you transfer from somewhere else or are you a complete newcomer?" Liu asked Jin Ke again. "Totally new." "You've never participated in a qualifying match? Haven't you been rated?" "No." "You haven't participated in a qualifying match, and you're just running out to do a mission, or a post-station rescue mission? Where did you get the mission?" Liu is also an old man with some experience in the base, and he is a little surprised by the experience of Ji Mengan in front of him. "The security department sent me to do this mission." Jin Ke answered Liu's questions in a disjointed manner. "Have you offended anyone?" Liu looked at Jin Ke with sympathy. "Sending a newcomer to do this kind of mission is just sending this newcomer to his death, isn't it?" "No. I just scared the supervisor when I entered the security department." He was eating and his bowl fell to the ground and broke. "Later I found out that he didn't like me. I was very confused. How did I offend him? Why did he treat me like this? But he didn't mean to harm me by asking me to do this task. He said that the reward for the task is very generous." Jin Ke was bored and started to talk nonsense with Liu. "Who would like him if he looks like this? Indeed, if I were his supervisor, I would be scared to death if I looked at him every day. Not to mention that my job would be lost. I would not even be able to eat in the future." So, he was given a task to die, so that he could die without seeing or feeling guilty. This child is really pitiful, meeting such a supervisor. "Our big brother Lee is still the best. He will never judge people by appearance." After hearing Jin Ke's answer, everyone started to discuss. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 358 Rationality. "I say, student, you'd better not go on that mission. Come with us. After we finish hunting, we'll take you to the post station to rest for a night. I'll contact the base and tell them to arrange for you to go back to the base tomorrow. You can't do that mission. If you go, you'll die. Do you understand?" Liu was very angry about the arrangement of the security department, and kindly took the initiative to bring it up to Jin Ke. "No, thank you for your kindness. My supervisor said that if someone stops me from doing the mission halfway, they want to steal my reward, so I shouldn't be fooled." Jin Ke shook his head vigorously. "I didn't expect him to be so stubborn despite being ugly. This supervisor is really bad. How can he play such a trick on others?" "Yes, it's not his fault that he is ugly. The key is that our boss Lee kindly advised him, but he didn't listen. Poor kid. He was brainwashed. Li Hu and his team tried to persuade Jin Ke for a while, but Jin Ke was unmoved and insisted on completing his task. In the end, Li Hu and his team had to give up and told Jin Ke that if he needed help, he could go to the nearby QTSO5 post to find them at any time, and then led the team away. Be careful. A black corpse appeared in front, Li Hu said to the people behind him, and everyone squatted down and looked ahead. Black corpses are different from zombies. Their bodies are not rotten, but appear shiny and black. But the shiny and black appearance makes people look a little weird. As time goes by, the zombies will rot more and more under the erosion of the virus, but the black corpses in the game Horror City are different. As the mutation time increases and as they absorb more and more dark energy, their strength becomes stronger and stronger. Speaking of which, the game Horror City pays more attention to rationality. The black corpses in the wild are transformed from corpses. After being injured and killed during the day, they are healed by the black fog at night, and the injured bodies are regenerated and resurrected. The strength gradually increases. The setting of zombies, whose bodies are corroded by viruses, can survive for several years like perpetual motion machines without eating or drinking and without energy supplements. The black corpses in the game Horror City can almost judge the concentration of dark energy in their bodies based on the degree to which their skin becomes dark and shiny, and thus judge their strength. Just like the black corpse in front, its skin is still light black, so its strength should not be that strong. Who will kill it? Li Hu asked the team members behind him. This black corpse did not pose any threat to him. It was mainly used to help the ordinary employees behind him practice and kill energy points. Li Hu's purpose here is to protect the employees of his post station who were brought out to hunt energy points. Archer, let's test its strength from a distance. Then you protect me, the archer carefully proposed to the others. Of course, the others nodded. The archer took the gray bow behind him, took out 3 bamboo arrows engraved with runes, and concentrated his mind and energy to use a skill he had been practicing recently. Scorching Wind. Scorching Wind. Normal attacks shoot out a gust of scorching arrow wind, and the arrow shooting speed is increased for a short period of time. The next 3 attacks will cause 10% physical damage, and can also trigger a deceleration effect. The archer shot 3 arrows in succession at lightning speed. After the Scorching Wind skill was released, 3 continuous lines of fire were drawn in the air and shot into the body of the black corpse. You caused 6 points of damage to the black corpse. You caused 7 points of damage to the black corpse. You caused 4 points of damage to the black corpse. The black corpse roared angrily after being hurt, and then rushed towards the crowd. It seemed that the skill released by the archer just now did not have a very obvious slowing effect on it. The quality of the bow and arrow is too low, and it can only cause such a small amount of damage. The archer smiled bitterly and retreated to the back. The scene of drawing the bow and shooting the arrow and releasing the skill just now was still very scary, but unfortunately the actual damage caused was very limited. It's not surprising. This black corpse is black and shiny. It may have reached the level of protection at level 2, which has a certain effect on reducing damage. Tank, move forward. Prepare to fight. Li Hu shouted to the crowd. A tank took a defensive posture with a shield in one hand and a one-handed sword in the other. The black corpse had already rushed to the front of the crowd, and the tank immediately activated his skill. Impact Shield. Impact Shield. Activate the shield to charge forward, absorbing 20 points of damage while increasing your own movement speed for 3 seconds, and strengthen the next normal attack, causing physical damage and knocking back for a short time. The tank's shield hit the black corpse hard, causing 7 points of damage on the top of the black corpse's head, and then knocked the black corpse back about half a meter, and it was stiff for a moment. The archer took this opportunity to draw the bow and shoot again. Because the distance was relatively close and the black corpse was in a stiff state, he finally had time to charge the skill and aim. With a sound of puff, an arrow hit the black corpse's head. Unexpectedly, he was lucky enough to get a critical hit and hit 12 points of damage. Heroic Slash. A warrior shouted stupidly, and then used his broadsword attack skill. Heroic Slash. Swing the broadsword and shoot a blade wind forward. Cause physical damage to the enemies hit by the blade wind and slow them down. knock back enemies in a certain area in front and cause physical damage. This attack dealt 15 points of damage. Not bad. Liu gave a thumbs up, and the others also showed envy to the warrior. Not bad, the warrior said modestly and proudly. The archer took the opportunity to shoot a few more arrows, knocking down some of the black corpse's health. An assassin went around behind the black corpse and dealt 13 points of damage with a critical hit. Then he quickly followed up with another skill, causing another 11 points of damage to the black corpse, with 2 bright red critical hit prompts. The black corpse groaned and fell to the ground. When the archer shot another arrow, it was too late, and the assassin got there first. You again, human-headed dog. The others laughed and scolded the assassin. It's just luck, the assassin replied in a pretentious manner, and then put away the dagger. How much energy did you collect? Liu asked the assassin. 10 points. The assassin looked very happy. If he could kill dozens of energy points, his main skill could be upgraded to LV3, and his strength could be greatly improved. You've taken the energy points. If there are equipment and materials, we should share more. Do you have any objection? The others proposed to the assassin. No objection. The assassin sat down on the spot so that the character could recover his physical strength as soon as possible. Chapter 359 Climbing the Tree. The black corpse did not reveal anything valuable. One team member used his dissection skills and only dissected a few bones containing dark energy from the black corpse. The team members threw dice to distribute them. Liu led the team members to continue moving forward. On the way, they encountered several more black corpses. After the team cooperated well, they all fell to the ground without injury. The other teammates also got some energy points. We are lucky today. There seem to be more black corpses in the hunting ground than usual, a team member said happily. It seems that something is not right. Liu looked around. This hunting ground was discovered by him. Every day, he would bring these team members to hunt for energy points to improve the morale and strength of the post station staff. But the number of black corpses today seemed to be much more than yesterday. Just when the team members were killing black corpses and exploding energy points, they all stopped because of a tremor in the ground. The tremor of the ground came from a certain direction. The assassin quickly ran to the top of a small hill nearby and looked into the distance. The others followed and looked into the distance together. Damn! It's a zombie tide. Liu's face changed drastically. Others also saw the scene over there. It was indeed a zombie tide. Dozens of black zombies appeared in everyone's field of vision, followed closely by hundreds of black zombies, like a surging tide, covering the sky and the earth in a certain direction of vision. These black zombies are the most common monsters in the game Horror City. Everyone has killed many along the way. Every player present has the ability to fight 1 or 2 black zombies alone. However, when their number reaches dozens or hundreds, they are not able to deal with them, especially there are 2 mutant black zombies in it. Under normal circumstances, black zombies cannot form a zombie tide unless there is a zombie brain passing by nearby and gathering them together. But there is no trace of the zombie brain in the air, so it is possible that a passing zombie brain is issuing information instructions to the surrounding black zombies, asking them to gather in a certain direction. The base has not released a zombie brain notice recently. The zombie tide is obviously surging in the direction where they are, and the speed is very fast. This is a big trouble. Don't look, run. Liu turned and ran away from the corpse tide. The others immediately followed Liu and ran wildly. Just now, everyone saw the corpse tide in their field of vision. Some of the black corpses in the corpse tide also noticed the people here. Dozens of black corpses roared and chased after everyone. Other black corpses followed them and chased after them. The 2 mutant black corpses ran faster, but the surging corpse tide around them tripped them up and prevented them from quickly leaving the group. They just followed the corpse tide and chased after everyone. The speed of the black corpses was faster than that of normal people. Although Liu and others ran faster than normal people, they were still like ordinary people. They would get tired and slow down after running for a long time. These black corpses would not. They could maintain the same high speed no matter how long they ran. Soon everyone fell into despair. They found that no matter how they ran, they could not get rid of the corpse tide behind them, and the distance between the corpse tide and them was getting closer and closer. A forest appeared in front of them, With big trees more than 10 meters tall and thick, the black fog at night did not kill these plants, but gave them some kind of nourishment, making their branches more solid and resilient than ordinary trees in the real world. Liu saw that everyone was unable to escape the tide of corpses, so he quickly directed everyone to climb up several large trees when they were close to the big trees. It is said that these black corpses cannot climb trees. If they can climb trees, staying on the treetops will only lead to death. But in this situation, if you continue to escape, you will sooner or later run out of energy and be caught up by them. At that time, you will also die. It is better to climb to the top of the tree and take a chance, betting that these black corpses cannot climb trees. As soon as everyone climbed to the top of the tree, dozens of black corpses' vanguard troops had already caught up. After they found that everyone climbed to the top of the tree, they did not follow them to climb the tree, but gathered under the tree and roared loudly at the players on the top of the tree. Black corpses can't climb trees. After confirming this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief and rested on the top of the tree. The previous run consumed a lot of their physical strength. If they didn't recover their physical strength, they would have to wait for death once a battle broke out. The corpse tide formed by hundreds of black corpses quickly poured into the woods. They all gathered under the tree, watching the players on the tree roaring non-stop, with no intention of leaving at all. In particular, the two mutant black corpses were roaring and advancing little by little from the crowded corpse tide. Once they came under the tree, they didn't know what would happen. After all, they had no experience in this area before. I read a novel before, which was circulated from another world, called Thrilling World or something. At the beginning, the protagonist was also trapped on the billboard by the corpse tide. Liu spoke. How did he escape later? The assassin asked Liu. Someone blew up a gas station in the distance. The corpse tide heard the loud noise and all went to the place where the explosion occurred. He found an opportunity to jump off the billboard. Liu recalled the content of the novel. What should we do now? Stay in the tree forever? Sooner or later, we will die of thirst or starvation. We can only ask the post station for help. The main force of the post station is all in the tree. Are you still asking for help from the post station? Are you crazy? We can only ask the base for help. Even if the base wants to rescue us, it's too late. By the time they get here, it will be 6 o'clock in the afternoon. They can't send a rescue team to save us at this time. The mutant black corpses are very strong. Will they push the tree down? I think it's very likely. It's over. We're dead. Why is there a tide of corpses? Don't they say that black corpses usually don't gather together? There must be a corpse brain in a certain direction where we escaped, so they will gather in that direction. It's over. The mutant black corpses are about to squeeze under the tree where I am. The voice of the shooter. It's shaking the tree. I'm going to die. Help. The shooter screamed miserably. Don't panic. Hold on to the tree trunk. These trees are very resilient. Just don't be shaken down. Liu roared. However, the shooter was obviously too nervous and didn't hold on to the tree trunk tightly, or he didn't expect the tree trunk to shake so violently. He was thrown out by the shaking of the mutant black corpse, and his clothes were hooked on a branch. The mutant black corpse jumped up and stretched out its claws, and it was only a few centimeters away from catching him. Chapter 360, In Memory. Help, someone help me. The shooter's face turned pale with fear. Look, someone is coming over there. Someone pointed in a certain direction. Is the rescue here? Great. Don't talk nonsense. Where is the rescue coming from? Everyone looked over there, and indeed someone came over. Looking at the zombies from a distance, someone with sharp eyes recognized that person. Wasn't that the ugly guy they met before? His name was Jin or something. A big fool sent by the base to carry out the mission. Alas, I thought I was saved. Poor guy. He has to go before us. He is ugly. Will the black zombies not be interested in him? Don't talk nonsense. The black zombies can't recognize who is ugly and who is handsome. Sure enough, after the zombies found Jin coming, some of the black zombies rushed towards him. That Jin glanced at the tree over here. He obviously had good eyesight and saw Liu and others on the tree. Don't look, run. Liu shouted to Jin. This guy is really stupid. Seeing the zombies coming this way, awoo, 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 Jin put his hands to his mouth and shouted loudly at the zombies. Most of the zombies, including the 2 mutant black zombies and the zombies, did not notice Ji-mangan, especially one of the mutant black zombies, whose attention was all on the prey above his head. But after hearing Ji-mangan's awoo a few times, they were all alarmed. They gave up the people who were out of reach in the tree, and chased after Ji-mangan together under the leadership of the 2 mutant black zombies. After a while, the footsteps of the mutant black zombies and the black zombies quickly faded away, and the area under the tree was cleared. The shooter finally took this opportunity to land safely on the ground. He was saving us. I never thought that such an ugly man could have such a beautiful heart. With so many black corpses and 2 mutant black corpses chasing him like this, he was probably in danger. Oh, I never thought. He saved us in the end. In this chaotic world, it has been a long time since I saw someone who was willing to sacrifice himself to save others like him. The new student has a simple mind and has not been corrupted by the old hands and the base. Boss Lee must write a letter of praise to the base after he goes back, so that the base will reward his spirit of sacrificing himself to save others. Everyone came down from the tree, feeling all kinds of emotions in their hearts. He saved our lives, and he paid for it with his life. Ju, don't you know how to draw a portrait? Draw a portrait of him and hang it in the hall of our post station. We must always remember him. Remember, our hero is called Ji-mangan. The post station supervisor Lee Hu said a few words to everyone with a very sad and solemn expression. Okay, I will try my best to make him more beautiful. Ju also nodded sadly. Encountering a very rare zombie tide, and someone died to save them, Lee Hu and his group were in no mood to continue hunting. They had to hurry back to the post station and tell the base about the zombie tide, so that the base would be alert, as there might be zombie brains lurking nearby. Although they were ready to return, after escaping from the dangerous place, Lee Hu still sent a faster assassin to sneak in and scout in the direction where Ji-mangan had just escaped. According to Lee Hu's speculation, the distance that the zombie tide was led away by Ji-mangan would not be too far, at most a few hundred meters away from the woods, and the zombie tide would catch up with Ji-mangan and capture him as a corpse. The black corpses do not eat people, but capture people to death and turn them into corpses, and then become one of them at night. After Ji-mangan died, the zombie tide would follow the mutant zombies and continue to move towards the original target. If possible, Lee Hu would find a way to bring Ji-mangan's body back to the post station and give this benefactor a decent funeral, so that he would not become a black corpse that could never die and was always hunted in the darkness of the night. The assassin quickly sent back a message using the communicator. How is the situation? Has the zombie tide dispersed? Have you found the body of my benefactor? Lee Hu asked the assassin. Boss, come and see for yourself. You won't believe it, the assassin replied to Lee Hu. What on earth happened? Lee Hu was very surprised by the assassin's answer. Really, boss? You should come and see for yourself. The assassin seemed to be still in a state of shock. Tell me, what on earth happened? Lee Hu was a little anxious. The zombie tide. Well, the entire zombie tide, hundreds of zombies, and 2 mutant black zombies, all fell to the ground. I don't know who killed them, because there are corpses everywhere, and I can't find the body of my benefactor for a while, the assassin replied to Lee Hu. Damn, is there such a thing? I'll take people there immediately. Lee Hu hurriedly called everyone and rushed to the direction where the assassin was. Looking at the hundreds of black corpses scattered over a diameter of more than 100 meters, as well as the dissected bodies of the 2 mutant black corpses, Lee Hu and all the team members were stunned. Who did it? A C-class warrior could only flee when faced with a zombie tide of this magnitude. Could it be a B-class warrior? No. A B-class warrior can't kill so quickly. It would take an A-class warrior at least. Maybe it's the legendary S-class warrior. Look, the bodies of these black zombies were all killed by a super powerful critical hit from behind. It must be an assassin. Where did such a powerful assassin come from? He just happened to pass by here? Have you ever considered? Could it be our benefactor who did it? How is that possible? I remember the clothes my benefactor wore. How could the corpses here be wearing his clothes? Indeed, at a glance, there seemed to be no body of our benefactor. Maybe a strong man happened to pass by nearby, saved our benefactor, and killed all the black zombies. Who knows? As long as our benefactor is okay, that's fine. How could it be such a coincidence? I suspect that all this was done by our benefactor. He is a super strong man, but he just doesn't want us to see his strength. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. No matter what, he saved our lives. We must remember this name, Jimangan. Yes, although he looks extremely ugly, he has a heart of gold. Of course, Jin killed the zombies easily. It was not easy for Jin to kill these primary monsters that had no skills and relied entirely on claw attacks, especially the groups of black zombies, which fell down in groups immediately after being covered by the green mist. Even the 2 mutant black zombies did not cause him any trouble. Chapter 361 Free Meal. At 2:30 in the afternoon, Jin Ke arrived at the Luo 7 station in a dusty state. In order to avoid his appearance being too shocking, Jin Ke took out Xuan Yuan Ming's mask and put it on Ji Mingan's face. Of course, these faces are all his. This station is located in an abandoned chemical plant. It is mainly composed of ground buildings. There are also bunkers built underground, but there are few rooms. It is mainly used to store related equipment of energy shields and provide rest for station staff at night. The station is the same as the base. The energy shield is not turned on during the day to save energy. Because the Luo 7 station is not in the mountain, the ground buildings are directly exposed to the outside. During the day, it is no different from an abandoned building in the wild. The Luo 7 station was established not long ago. It was built in the border area near the Huoyan shelter. The main purpose is to trade with the refugees on the Huoyan shelter in exchange for some materials that are not easy to obtain in the Yuliuan base. It is a relatively primary station and has not built a large station wall to install energy restriction-related equipment. Energy shields that defend against the darkness of the night are different from energy restrictions that isolate human warriors from moving in and out. If this kind of primary post station located on the ground in the wild does not have energy restrictions installed, once it encounters an attack from humans or wild monsters, it will have to rely on the armed protection of the post station staff. Refugees do not belong to any shelter. They usually move around in the marginal area between 2 shelters, hunting and searching for supplies during the day, and return to the refugee gathering place to rest at night. The leaders of these refugee gathering places will buy post-station level energy shield related equipment from the black market to use in the refugee gathering place to fight against the darkness of the night. This kind of refugee gathering place is more like a bandit's nest. They have no fixed resource income and often have food or energy shortages. So while hunting, they will also collect information about convoys and caravans between various shelters, and even form groups to rob. Luo 7 post station had a dispute when trading with refugees. The refugees thought they were at a disadvantage, so they threatened to attack Luo 7 post station. The station supervisor Wei was young and energetic. After receiving the threat from the refugees, he directly led more than 20 main forces of the station to kill the refugees, but they never returned. There were only a few civilian staff left at the Luo 7 station. Feeling that something was wrong, they asked for help from the Yuliuan base. The Yuliuan base was far away from the Luo 7 station, and it would normally take 3 days for the rescuers to arrive. So the Yuliuan base also sent a message for help to the King Tashan base, promising a mission reward in exchange for support from the King Tashan base. Of course, the mission reward was almost negligible. The Yuliuan base always believed that they had done a favor to the King Tashan base. In this case, the King Tashan base should arrange personnel to help them through the difficulties, at least until the rescue personnel from the Yuliuan base arrived. Under normal circumstances, the Qingtai Mountain base should arrange Li Hu and others from the QTSO5 station to come to the rescue, and they can reach the Luo 7 station of the Yuliuan base in half a day. However, after the mission report was sent to the Qingtai Mountain base, Jin Ke happened to want to go to the Dongling Mountain maze, so he took the mission directly in the name of the Qingtai Mountain base security department and sent newcomer Ji Mingan to carry out the rescue mission. When Jin Ke came, the trading market of the Luo 7 station had been closed. Of course, it is called a trading market, but it is just a large piece of open space in front of the abandoned factory area. The trading market has been closed. It will not be opened until a week later. Who is coming? Tell me your name. What's the matter? Please don't take out your weapons, otherwise we will regard it as a threatening act. When Jin Ke walked to the vicinity of the buildings where the green dot of the target location displayed on the watch was located, a voice came from a nearby building. Jimen, sent by the Qingtai Mountain Base to assist in the defense of the Luo 7 station. Jin Ke answered the voice. What is the code for the defense mission? The voice asked again. 65,151,648. Jin Ke answered the voice and took out the mission document. After confirming that the code was correct, 7 or 8 people, both men and women, came out of several nearby buildings and stood in front of Jin Ke. The leading man checked Jin Ke's mission document and then looked at Jin Ke wearing a mask with some surprise. The man's name was Xiafeng, and he was the temporary person in charge of the Luo 7 post. Take off your mask, Xiafeng said to Jin Ke. Are you sure? Jin Ke hesitated. Huh? What's wrong? Xiafeng was a little surprised. Okay. Jin Ke took off his mask. The 7 or 8 people who surrounded Jin Ke screamed when they saw the true face of Jimen. Xiafeng instinctively took 2 steps back. Someone behind him even instinctively picked up his weapon and took a defensive posture. What does this mean? Jin Ke spread his hands. Put down your weapons. Xiafeng hurriedly ordered everyone around him, his face somewhat embarrassed. Everyone came back to their senses, put away their weapons, and then looked at Jin Ke with frowns. Where are your companions? You can let them out. Xiafeng then asked Jin Ke, looking behind Jin Ke. No companions, just me. Jin Ke answered Xiafeng. No way. King Moss Mountain Base only sent you here? Xiafeng frowned. Yes. What is your ranking level? Xiafeng asked. I just joined the base not long ago, and I haven't participated in the ranking competition yet. Jin Ke told the truth. Then why are you here? Xiafeng looked unhappy. You want to rescue, so the base arranged for me to come to rescue. Jin Ke answered Xiafeng. The Qingtai Mountain Base is too unreliable. They are not giving face to our Yuan base. Why send such an ugly guy here? To help us resist the attacks of the refugees? To scare the refugees away with his appearance? I don't think he is here to help, but to eat for free. We have to talk to the leaders of our Yuan base about this matter. Next time Qingtai Mountain Base asks us for help, we have to think about it carefully. Since others don't regard us as friends, we don't have to give them face. The people behind Xiafeng talked about it. It was obvious that they were very disappointed after seeing Jin Ke. They felt that Qingtai Mountain Base had fooled them and didn't take their help seriously at all. You have to know that this time they had a special conflict with the refugees. The life and death of the base's supervisor Wei was uncertain. If they, a group of civilian staff, were attacked by refugees, they could only wait to die. They had already described the situation as very critical in the mission briefing. They thought that the Moss Mountain Base would send the armed forces from QTSO-5 station to assist in the defense, but they didn't expect that only a new trainee came. Chapter 362. Harsh. Your name is Jimen? Xiafeng looked at the mission document in his hand and asked Jin Ke again. Yes. Please come this way, little brother. Although Xiafeng could not hide his inner disappointment, he still politely made a gesture to Jin Ke. Jin Ke also saw that these people were very disappointed with his arrival, but he did not want to explain too much. The main purpose of his coming here was to visit the Dongling Mountain Maze, and he just completed this rescue mission. Along the way, the sky gradually darkened. After Xiafeng welcomed Jin Ke to the post station, he went to the communication room of the post station and asked Wang Man, the female staff member in charge of communication, to report the situation here to the Yuan base, asking the Yuan base to make other plans as soon as possible to see if they could arrange personnel from other nearby post stations to rush here tomorrow. According to Xiafeng's calculations, the attack by the refugees is likely to occur at noon tomorrow, and the Luo 7 post station must be prepared early. The Qingtai Mountain Base sent a 17 or 18-year-old ugly new student to come over. It was obvious that they were perfunctory or even deliberately disgusting them. I don't know what the motive behind this was. Is it because the two bases are going to have the finals of the tour? Qingtai Mountain Base did this. Isn't it too much? After 5 o'clock, The staff of the post station began to cook. After Jin Ke arrived at the post station, no one poured him tea. He could only take the initiative to look for it and found some drinking water in the tea room. No one came to chat with Jin Ke. Of course, Jin Ke was not interested in chatting with these people. He found a corner and sat down, quietly recovering his physical strength while practicing the energy in his body. At 5:30, dinner was ready, but no one came to greet Jin Ke to eat. It was not until Xiafeng, the temporary person in charge of the post station, came out of the communication room and ate for a while that he remembered the auxiliary defense personnel sent by Qingtai Mountain Base. Anyway, the new student sent here didn't do anything wrong, so it was obviously not good to be so neglectful. So someone asked Jin Ke to go to the restaurant. It was called a restaurant, but it was actually a shabby factory building. Brother Ji, how old are you this year? Someone took the initiative to talk to Jin Ke. This person was called Wang Shuai, and he sat next to Jin Ke, 20. Although the other party's attitude was a bit neglectful, since he called him brother at the table, his attitude was still polite, so Jin Ke didn't need to show his face to the other party. He reported 20 years old because Ji Ming'an's face didn't look very young. What is your ranking in the qualifying competition? Wang Shuai then asked Jin Ke. I said before that I haven't participated in the qualifying competition yet. When the other people at the table heard Jin Ke's answer, they couldn't help but show anger on their faces again. The Qingtai Mountain Base has gone too far. For such an emergency call for help, at least 2 or 3 D-level masters and a dozen E-level personnel should be sent over, right? What does it mean to send a new student who has not even participated in the qualifying competition? You are still a new student at the Qingmo's mountain base, right? Wang Shuai continued to ask Jin Ke. I guess so. You don't have a good relationship with your supervisor, right? Or have you offended the middle-level leaders of the base? Wang Shuai guessed that letting such a newcomer who has not participated in the qualifying competition come here to do such a task always feels like revenge, and deliberately let him come to die. Not sure. Jin Ke shook his head. A newcomer should think more before doing things. Just accept such a task when someone asks you to take it. Such a task of seeking help is generally more dangerous, and if you are not careful, you will lose your life. You are a newcomer, and it is obvious that someone is unhappy with you and deliberately makes things difficult for you. Xiafeng, the temporary supervisor of the post station, advised Jin Ke a few words. That's right, someone deliberately harmed you. Are you stupid? You can't see this? Wang Shuai echoed Xiafeng a few words. Oh, I see. Jin Ke had to pretend to be very grateful. While everyone was talking, the communicator Wang Man finished the communication and walked into the restaurant. Everyone in the post station immediately looked at Wang Man with a smile, and greeted her enthusiastically and asked her to sit on the dining chair next to them. It was not surprising that these people behaved like this, except for Xiafeng, the temporary person in charge of the post station, who was a middle-aged man in his 30s. All other staff members of the post station were young people between 20 and 30 years old. Apart from Wang Man, there was only a fat woman with glasses who was not outstanding in appearance. But Wang Man was very beautiful, the kind that people would easily look at a few more times after seeing her. Even Jin Ke subconsciously looked at her more when he saw Wang Man. Although Wang Man was beautiful, she was still a little worse than Luo Ye. It was not because the lover's eyes saw beauty, but Luo Ye was indeed very beautiful. If the beauty index of girls was full of 10 points, Jin Ke would give Luo Ye a score of 10 points, and Wang Man would only score 8.5 points at most. Hey, ugly, why are you staring at our beauty? You don't look like you are qualified to have any idea about her. It would be bad if you scare her. A young man named Huang Taiji at the table found Jin Ke staring at Wang Man and deliberately mocked Jin Ke. She is the most beautiful among the new students in our Yuliuan base. There is definitely no such beautiful girl in your Qingtashan base. Wang Shuai looked very proud. Maybe. Jin Ke lowered his head and continued to eat. Ugly. Looking like this really pollutes the environment. Wang Man also found that Jin Ke glanced at her just now. At this time, she showed a look of disdain and contempt to Jin Ke, mainly because she was dissatisfied with Qingtashan base for sending such a newcomer to them at a critical moment. Ha 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 ha. The description of beauty is too appropriate. Wang Shuai and Huang Taiji laughed, and then looked at Jin with a mocking expression. Jin glared at Wang Man. Isn't this girl's words too harsh? Is it Ji Mengen's fault that he is ugly? Definitely not. His childhood friend Ji Mengen will definitely be a handsome guy when he grows up. When Jin Ke named this face, he did it to commemorate his childhood friend and to help him gain fame. And he didn't think too much about it. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame the nightmare mask. But even if Ji Mengen is very ugly, you can't hurt him like this, right? Compared with Li Hu and others at the QTSO5 station, the quality of these people in front of them is really much lower. Why are you glaring at me? If I were as ugly as you, I wouldn't go out and disgust people. I don't even want to eat when I see you. Who asked you to come to this table? Get out. Wang Man was very dissatisfied with Jin Ke's glaring at her, and her words became more harsh. Are you looking for death? Jin Ke's eyes turned cold. He had been tolerant in every way, but this girl was obviously shameless. Chapter 363, Stars and Moon. Manman, how was the contact just now? Xiafeng, the person in charge of the post station, felt that the atmosphere was not right, and quickly asked Wang Man to change the subject. My senior brother said that he will rush here non-stop tomorrow morning. He said that he will find a way to get to our post station before dark tomorrow. Wang Man glared at Jin Ke unhappily, and then answered Xiafeng. Senior brother Lu agreed to come to help. That's great. When everyone at the table heard Wang Man say senior brother, they knew that it was one of Wang Man's suitors in the base, the new generation of talented warrior Luo Ye. Luo Ye is the son of Lu Tanhao, the director of Yuan base. He is currently at the DD level in the qualifying competition and is the most dazzling new generation warrior in Yuan base in the past 2 years. Like other boys, Luo Ye had always coveted Wang Man's beauty. Wang Man was recently on duty at Luo 7 station, and Luo 7 station had just had an incident in the past few days. After hearing what Wang Man said, Luo Ye thought it was a good opportunity to show off in front of Wang Man, so he immediately agreed to come and help. It takes about 21 hours to get from Yuan base to Luo 7 station. Under normal circumstances, it takes 3 days to get there safely, but Luo Ye has a mechanical exoskeleton treasure given by his father, which can walk 3 or 4 times faster than normal in the wild. He decided to use this treasure to help him walk tomorrow, and set off from Yuan base early in the morning, trying to get to Luo 7 base in only 6 to 8 hours. Although the refugees claimed that they were going to attack the station, it was hard to say whether they would take action tomorrow. Even if they did, it would be afternoon. Judging from the usual style of these refugees, they would blackmail and negotiate before attacking, and if their conditions could be met, there might not be a fight. If the refugees come to attack at noon tomorrow, the Luo 7 post station will negotiate with them first, pretending to agree to their conditions and delay them, as long as they can delay until Luo Ye arrives in the afternoon. With Luo Ye's strength and the current defense force of the post station, it should not be a big problem to repel the attack of these refugees. After hearing that Luo Ye would come to assist in the defense, everyone in the post station felt relieved. At noon the next day, more than a dozen people in the post station were on full alert. At noon, the surroundings were very quiet and no large number of refugees were seen, but at about 1:30 in the afternoon, 2 refugees came over and said that Kui Sanba, the leader of the nearby refugee gathering place, had a letter to the person in charge of the post station. The 2 refugees left after leaving the letter. The letter was written by Kui Sanba, the leader of the nearby refugee gathering place, saying that he would bring more than a dozen masters from the refugee gathering place to the post station at noon tomorrow, and asked the post station to provide the supplies on the list. If the supplies are well prepared, they can consider giving up the attack. But if the supplies are not ready, they will flatten the entire post station and leave no one alive. It seems that the refugee gathering place is ready to ask for a lot of money this time and blackmail the post station. The list mainly includes food and energy cores, as well as some daily necessities. Disasters and energy shortages often occur in refugee gathering places. It seems that the disasters and energy shortages in this refugee gathering place are very serious recently. The leader of the gathering place is ready to go all out to enter the Luo 7 post station to solve the difficulties they are facing. When survival is a problem, the refugees will definitely do everything they can. Although they received the letter of challenge, the post station was not panicked at this time. According to their understanding, the leader of this refugee gathering place, Guisanba, is only a D-level warrior, far inferior to the genius Luo Ye. And for some unknown reason, the leader of the refugee gathering place, Guisanba, postponed the time to come to the post station to tomorrow noon, which just gave the post station enough time to prepare. At about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a tall man in his 20s wearing a mechanical exoskeleton appeared near the post station. It was obviously his first time here, and like Jin Ke, he did not know the exact location of the post station. Unlike Jin Ke, when the man appeared, Wang Man and more than a dozen staff members in the post station took the initiative to greet him, asking about his well-being and welcoming him back to the post station like a star-studded moon. "Brother Luo, thank you for coming all the way here this time. With you here, we feel relieved." Wang Man took the initiative to make a cup of tea for Luo Ye and looked at him with a gentle expression. "Sister Man is in trouble. Of course I have to rush here as soon as possible. Whoever dares to bully my sister Man, I will make sure he is killed without a complete corpse." Luo Ye showed his heroic spirit in front of the beauty. Luckily, Sister Man knows senior brother Luo, otherwise, no one would be able to save us at this time. Yes, senior brother Luo is also very considerate of Sister Man. He rushed here in 1 day instead of 3 days' journey. Senior brother Luo is the top new generation expert of our Yuan base. In a month, he will be the rookie king of the warrior profession of the entire Green Plains shelter. With senior brother Luo here, those refugees who dare to come here again will die. Luo Ye was extremely proud to hear all kinds of flattering words from everyone. By the way, I heard that the King Tai Mountain base also sent a young talent, a master among the new students to help. What's his name? Luo Ye looked around and finally locked his eyes on Jin Ke, who was sitting in the corner. Yes, a newcomer who has not participated in the qualifying competition yet, named Jimen, who is so ugly. Senior brother Luo, you'd better not look at him. You will regret it for half a year if you look at him. Wang Man answered Luo Ye in a low voice, and then looked at Jin Ke with contempt. Is this brother Ji the best among the newcomers at King Tai Mountain base? Luo Ye took the initiative to come over and talk to Jin Ke. Huh? Jin Ke looked up at Luo Ye. Oh my god. After seeing Ji Mingen's appearance, Luo Ye took 2 steps back and almost fell to the ground. Brother, are you okay? I told you not to look at him. Are you disgusted by him? Wang Man hurried over to support Luo Ye and comforted him softly. It's okay, Sister Man, I just didn't expect him to be so ugly and refined. It has exceeded my understanding of this world and the entire human race. Luo Ye slowly stood up with Wang Man's body. The two looked at each other affectionately for a while, looking at each other's beautiful faces and handsome faces to offset the serious psychological damage caused by seeing Ji Mingen just now. Ugh. Jin Ke didn't know what he had eaten, and now he felt a little nauseous. By the way, is this brother Ji the best among the newcomers at King Tai Mountain base? After Luo Ye calmed down with the comfort of Wang Man, he walked up to Jin Ke again and said something. That's about right. Jin Ke nodded. Chapter 364, Discussion. Haha. You are so arrogant. Senior brother Luo said something polite to him. Do you really think you are the best? Almost. I think it's far from enough. Maybe there are really not many newcomers in King Tai Mountain base. That may not be the case. There is a magic cannon fodder who can play bugs and has been very popular recently. No matter how magical he is still a cannon fodder. How can he compare with our senior brother Luo? Everyone present laughed. In their opinion, Ji Mingen's strength was not good, so it was fine if he was a little low-key, but when Luo Ye approached him, he still brazenly thought that he was the best. This was too shameless. Oh, brother Ji, do you know Jin Ke? Luo Ye asked Jin Ke again. Jin Ke, who had shined in this quarter's tour, had obviously spread his reputation to the Yuan base, the opponent in the next round of the tour. I know him. You said you are the best among the newcomers in King Tai Mountain base. How does your strength compare to Jin Ke? Luo Ye looked at Ji Mengan with interest. Almost the same. Jin compared them and came to a conclusion. Almost the same? Oh, very interesting. I heard that student Jin is the strongest among the newcomers in your Qingtai Mountain base. As for me, I happen to be the most outstanding among the newcomers in Yuli Yuan base. The relationship between our two bases has always been very friendly, but I haven't had the opportunity to visit student Jin in Qingtai Mountain base. I didn't expect that someone with the same strength as student Jin would come here. It seems that today I have the opportunity to learn a few moves from the master among the newcomers in Qingtai Mountain base. Since we are both here to support Luo 7 station, it can be regarded as a kind of fate. Brother Ji, are you interested in sparring with me? Luo Ye asked Jin Ke. Although Luo Ye's words were extremely polite and intimate, it was clear from his words that he was very dissatisfied with the rescue sent by Qingtai Mountain base this time, and he intended to make Ji Mengan embarrassed in public. Sparring? You have walked such a long way and are very tired. Besides, we are all here to support and protect Luo 7 station. There is no need to waste energy on this. Jin Ke shook his head. Jin came here just for the sake of going through the motions. His real purpose was to use this place as a base to explore the maze of Dongling Mountain. Luo Ye came at the right time. When the refugees really attacked, Jin Ke didn't have to fight. He was still counting on this handsome guy to resist the refugees' attacks. If he sparred with Luo Ye and didn't control the scale well and seriously injured or killed Wang Man's senior brother Luo, then when the refugees attacked, wouldn't he have to fight himself? So, the sparring was forgotten. The main reason was that the opponent was too weak and he was not interested. You don't dare to fight, but what you said is very high-sounding. That's right. What's the point of saying that senior brother Luo is tired? No matter how tired senior brother Luo is, it's easy to teach him a lesson. Well, I guess he can't even take senior brother Luo's move. He knows that he is not strong enough, so he doesn't dare to fight at all. This guy is very smart. He made up some excuses to shirk. Anyway, no one knows how weak he is. If he really fights, he will be exposed all of a sudden. That's when he loses face. The newcomers in Qingtai Mountain base are not good. Not only do they have no strength, but they also want to save face. Everyone at the scene talked about it and despised what Jin Ke just said. Ha ha ha. It doesn't matter. I'm not very tired. When I saw the masters of Qingtai Mountain base, I couldn't help but feel a little itchy. I wanted to learn a few moves and use my brother's hands to understand the strength of the newcomers in Qingtai Mountain base. Brother, you don't have to be polite to me. Even if we fight, we will stop when we are done. I will never hurt you. Luo Ye continued to invite Jin Ke to fight. In front of Sister Man, Luo Ye intended to make Ji Mengan admit defeat in public, so as to vent his anger for the post station and Sister Man. If Ji Mengan could defeat him for a few moves and his strength was not too weak, then what the Qingtai Mountain base did this time would not be considered excessive. But if Ji Mengan could not even defeat one move from him, and he was a complete newcomer, then what the Qingtai Mountain base did this time was too much. Of course, if Ji Mengan admitted his defeat and said that he was willing to admit defeat, Luo Ye would no longer embarrass him. After all, Luo Ye was only angry about the arrangement of the Qingtai Mountain base at this time, not the poor new student in front of him. I don't want to fight with you, not because I'm afraid that you will hurt me, but because I'm afraid that after I attack, I can't stop and hurt you by mistake. Jin Ke answered Luo Ye. You're drunk. How can you say such a thing? He thinks he can hurt senior brother Luo. Ha 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 ha. How about senior brother Luo fights him with only one hand? What do you think? What kind of person is he? So shameless. If you don't have the strength, then you can't. It's okay to admit that you're a coward. After all, senior brother Luo is a real master. Well, he's still trying to save face and bragging. I originally thought he was quite pitiful, but I didn't expect him to be so thick-skinned. I wonder if all the newcomers at the King Mo's mountain base are so thick-skinned. I think so. This is the tradition of the King Mo's mountain base. Everyone originally had no bad feelings towards Jin Ke. They just felt that it was a bit pitiful that he was sent here by the King Mo's mountain base to die. They really didn't expect Jin Ke to speak so rudely. If he didn't dare to fight, then he didn't dare to fight. But he shamelessly said that he was afraid of hurting Luo Ye. At this time, they couldn't help but start to mock him. It's okay, let's stop here. I promise not to hurt you. If you can hurt me, I will never pursue you. The relationship between our two bases is so good. This is just an ordinary friendly exchange. Luo Ye continued to provoke Jin Ke relentlessly. Yes, one is the rookie king of Yuliuan base, and the other claims to be the best among the rookies of King Tashan base, and is as famous as the magical cannon fodder. He even thinks that his strength is above that of our rookie king of Yuliuan base. In that case, let's have a fight. I don't believe the newcomers of King Tashan base can only talk big. King Tashan base is not only about newcomers who can talk big. Their fan Wenji is a big mouth. I heard that there is also a Yuan big mouth gun. Let's fight. We are all masters. Don't be timid. Being timid will make people look down on us. Don't persuade him. I think he is a coward. He will not accept the challenge at all. Indeed, if he really dares to accept the challenge, he will be exposed. The others also encouraged in various ways. They originally wanted to save some face for Jin Ke, but they didn't expect Jin Ke to speak so unreliably, which made them a little unable to help. They really wanted Jin Ke to see the strength of their rookie king of Yuliuan base, and then admit his mistakes to them with conviction. Jin Ke remained silent. He did not want to argue with the man in front of him because it was meaningless to him, but if the other party pushed him too hard, then they would just fight. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 365. What is a nobility? You two are guests who have come from afar. It is fun to exchange ideas only when both sides are interested. Since Brother G has no interest in this, we should not force it. Let's discuss the strategy for tomorrow's defense against the enemy together. Xiafeng, the head of the post station, came over, stopped Luo Ye, and mediated a few words. Others were unhappy with the Qingtai Mountain base and what Ji Mengan had just said, and they could vent their dissatisfaction, but Xiafeng could not. This time he personally contacted Qingtai Mountain for help, and he had to give Qingtai Mountain a face anyway, and he could not push them too far. In addition, this Brother G seemed to be a little immature, and it was understandable that he said some ignorant words after being stimulated. If they really exchanged ideas, these young people would not know how to control their strength. If Ji Mengan was injured, Qingtai Mountain would definitely not look good. To put it bluntly, it might affect the friendship between the two bases, which was not what Xiafeng wanted to see. In addition, Xiafeng felt that Ji Mengan must have endured all kinds of ridicule because of his ugly appearance. Now that he was alone here, he was also ridiculed and accused by so many people at the same time. It was really pitiful. If he didn't say a few words at this time, it would be bad if he couldn't think straight and made some inappropriate actions. If he committed suicide or something under impulse, Qingtai Mountain base would have an excuse to blame Yuliuan base. Although this matter was the fault of Qingtai Mountain base, if it was brought to the surface, it would become the fault of Yuliuan base. Xiafeng didn't want to take this responsibility. Anyway, now that Luo Ye was there, and the attack of the refugees would not start until tomorrow, the safety problem of the post station had been solved, so there was no need to continue to pursue anything on this matter. At most, he would report this situation to Yuliuan base in the future, so that the senior management of Yuliuan base would also guard against these unauthentic practices of the other party when they were socializing with Qingtai Mountain base. At noon the next day, the refugees appeared as promised. Xiafeng, get out of here! A small leader of the refugees shouted at the post station, followed by more than 20 refugees holding weapons. These refugees were dressed in rags, without even a decent piece of armor, and holding only some gray weapons in their hands. Well, Xi is here. I wonder what you are doing here? Xiafeng came out with everyone in the post station. We have agreed on a deal, but you unilaterally reneged. Several trucks of goods have traveled dozens of miles. Do you know how much loss it has caused us? Do I need to remind you of this? Where are the supplies I asked you to prepare? Take them out. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude. The small leader threatened Xiafeng. There is nothing we can do about it. We opened this post station market to purchase fire crystals to benefit the refugees, but you used ordinary stones to impersonate fire crystals and force them to buy and sell, breaking the rules. Even if there is a loss, it is caused by you. I think I have made it clear to you before. It is meaningless for you to make trouble. Xiafeng was encouraged by Luo Ye, and his tone became tough. You said I was being unreasonable? I think you don't want to live anymore. Brothers, go, rob this post station for me. Kill the men and rape the women, the little leader shouted, and rushed over here with more than 20 refugees. Let's see who dares to mess around. Luo Ye suddenly jumped down from a nearby building, holding a purple-clad swallowing moon knife in his hand. His full set of special light alloy plate armor was emitting purple light, flowing and colorful. With his tall figure, he immediately blocked the group of refugees like a wall. So handsome. Wang Man put her hands into her mouth, with a crazy expression on her face, and a blush appeared on her beautiful face. You are worthy of being the new generation of kings of our Yuan base. Wang Shui also praised loudly. With senior brother Luo here, we don't have to worry about more refugees coming. Let these lowly refugees see what aristocrats are. Everyone in the post station was amazed by Luo Ye's appearance this time, and they flattered and praised him in various ways. Luo Ye is the son of Lu Tanhao, the director of Yuan base. By relying on Wang Man to establish a relationship with Luo Ye, it will be of great benefit to their future development in Yuan base. The refugee leader was stunned when he saw Luo Ye suddenly appear. After hesitating for a moment, he waved his hand and said, "Brothers, come on, if we can strip him of his purple skin, we will make a fortune." The refugees who were originally a little scared suddenly became bolder after hearing the roar of the leader, and rushed towards Luo Ye with a roar. Xiafeng led his people to Luo Ye's back and was about to say that he would help Luo Ye, but Luo Ye stretched out his hand to stop Xiafeng and others. "I am enough." After Luo Ye said this lightly, he waved the swallowing moon knife in his hand and shouted at a dozen refugees. Iron cavalry trampling. The name of the skill he used appeared above Luo Ye's head. At the same time, the energy phantoms of more than a dozen iron cavalry soldiers appeared beside Luo Ye and crashed into the refugee formation with a bang. A dazzling energy light flashed, and the refugee leader and more than 20 refugees were knocked to the ground, with little stars appearing on their heads. This power and this scene are really unmatched. Brother Luo, you are the idol in our hearts. Fortunately Mammon called Brother Luo over. Otherwise we would be finished if we relied on the King Tai Mountain base. Who knows, maybe that ugly monster can disgust the refugees away? Well, it is indeed away. Maybe that is what King Tai Mountain base thinks. The people around Xiafeng praised him in various ways, and at the same time, they did not forget to mock Ji Mangan. Cut the waves. Amid the praises and cheers of the crowd, Luo Ye used another fierce skill. He swung the swallowing moon knife and created a whirlwind of energy, which suddenly swept through the refugee formation. Among the 20 or so refugees, half were killed to the point of being on the verge of death, and the remaining half were less than half blood. Trap him, don't let him run away. The small leader seized the opportunity and threw a powerful control skill at Luo Ye, trying to control him and then kill Luo Ye with the advantage of numbers and snatch the purple equipment from him. At this time, Wang Man, who had already climbed to the top of a nearby building, had also raised the bow and arrow in his hand, aiming at the small leader of the refugees. Gentle wind, protect your body. After Luo Ye was immobilized by the small leader's control skill, he calmly released a skill, instantly clearing the paralysis debuff on his head, then turned around and slashed at the small leader's head with another powerful single attack skill. Chapter 366, Stealing Money, Food, and Women. The little leader looked at Luo Ye's moon-swallowing blade with a look of shock. He had just released a control skill, and it was too late to dodge the attack. Almost at the same time, Wang Man's bow and arrow skill attack on the building and Luo Ye's powerful single attack skill fell on the little leader, killing him on the spot. Of course, it was mainly Luo Ye's credit, but Wang Man felt that it would be more romantic to kill the other little leader together with him. The remaining refugees with less than half blood felt that something was wrong and immediately turned around and fled. Luo Ye obviously didn't want to let them off easily. He chased them with the moon-swallowing blade and killed them all on the road outside the post station. When Luo Ye came back, He was welcomed like a hero by everyone in the post station. Some people are really shameless. They said they were here to rescue. But when the refugees attacked them, they just hid aside. They didn't hide aside, they were scared. Where have they seen such a scene? They are better at talking nonsense than anyone else, but they are really scared when they play. The people in Qingtai Mountain Base are just like that. Alas, after all, the people in our Yuliuan Base are reliable. Senior brother Lu is very brave. Yuliuan Base has a new strong man like senior brother Lu. It will shine in the future. Qingtai Mountain Base was too unfair this time. I must have a good talk with them later. Everyone in the post station praised Lu Yu in various ways, and did not forget to ridicule Ji Mengan in various ways. While the people in the post station were cheering to celebrate the victory, they didn't expect that at this time, on a hill a few hundred meters away, there were several people holding binoculars looking over here, watching the whole process of Lu Yu fighting with a refugee leader from beginning to end. Behind the hill, there were dozens of fully armed refugees. The weapons and equipment in their hands were obviously much stronger than those of the refugee leader. We have analyzed that their reinforcement is a D-level warrior with a full set of D-level purple equipment and a D-level purple broadsword in his hand. It can be seen that this is their last trump card. A refugee in charge of observation reported to a person who looked like a leader beside him, Humphrey, Yuliuan Base underestimated the refugees of our three tyrants. They thought that sending such a D-level warrior could resist our attack? The leader snorted coldly. This man was called Quisanba, and he was the real mastermind behind the refugees' attack on the post station. The previous small refugee leader and a dozen refugees were all old, weak, sick and disabled in the refugee gathering place. Quisanba lied to them that they were challenging them in front, and Quisanba would lead everyone to kill them from the rear. So those people dared to shout so fiercely at the post station. Unexpectedly, Quisanba was just using the hands of the people in the post station to help him get rid of the burden of the refugee gathering place. All those who were sent over first were old, weak, sick and disabled, so they were killed by Lu Yu like cutting melons and vegetables. At this time, the 20 or so people on the hill and below were the real elites of this refugee gathering place. Not to mention that the leader Quisanba on the mountain is already at the DDD level and is about to step into the C level. Several of these people below the hill have reached the D level. The reason why Quisanba didn't take action yesterday was that he was waiting to see if there would be rescue personnel from the post station today. The supplies in the post station are limited, and the most valuable is the energy shield equipment that can resist the darkness in the wild. However, this kind of equipment is strictly encrypted, and it cannot be moved or used without authorization. Therefore, Quisanba's real target is the people in the post station. It would be great if we can capture a few valuable hostages and let the Yuliuan Base redeem them at a high price. What should we do next? The minions asked the leader Quisanba. Kill them. After robbing this post station, the men, women, and supplies are all ours. Let the Yuliuan Base pay for the redemption. If they don't pay, we will use the men as slaves and the women as prostitutes. Let everyone have fun together. Quisanba announced his decision. These refugees have no fixed place to live, and they wander between the two large shelters. At night, they put up the shield and sleep directly in the wild. Now the refugees are short of money and food. And what's more terrible is that they don't have enough energy cores. If they don't think of a way, they will die. This time they can only risk it. Brothers, charge. Rob the money, rob the food, rob the women. Quisanba stood up and shouted to the minions behind him. Charge. Robbing the money, rob the food, rob the women. More than 20 elites in the refugee gathering place shouted together, and then followed the leader to rush to the Luo 7 post station. At this time, there was laughter and joy in the Luo 7 post station. Wang Man and Lu Yu exchanged glances with each other, and other people also tried to match them up. Heroes and beauties, infinite scenery, and all kinds of romance. Wang Man personally made a cup of hot tea for Lu Yu and handed it to him with affection. At this time, the people standing guard outside shouted that a second group of refugees had arrived. These untouchables really don't know how to live or die. Sister Man, put this cup of tea first. Wait for me to kill them all. Luo Ye picked up the moon-swallowing knife and walked out majestically. The leader of the refugees, Xue'er, was also a warrior, a DDD level warrior. He wore a set of plate armor with white, blue and purple, and a tattered robe on the outside. The big knife in his hand was a blue suit, a D-level blue suit. You little thieves, you can't win but you keep coming here to die. Is it fun? Luo Ye shouted at Xue'er with an arrogant look on his face. The two sides stood on the spot 7 or 8 meters apart. Luo Ye was covered with purple light, and Xue'er was in tattered clothes. From the momentum, it seemed that the difference was obvious. It turned out to be you who was extremely cruel and killed so many of my men. Xue'er looked at Luo Ye with a strange smile. From Luo Ye's face, he saw some aristocratic temperament, most likely a child of aristocratic family in the Yuan base. It seems that he will make a profit today. It's me, you lowly people. Why don't you retreat quickly? Do you want to continue to seek death? Luo Ye had a look of disdain on his face. After the battle just now, he felt that the strength of these refugees was just so-so. With such a level, what's the point even if a few more batches come? Aren't they all here to die? Humphrey, if you kill my men, you will be slaves for life to redeem the crimes you have committed. As for the beautiful girl behind you, your grandpa, will enjoy her. Xue'er answered Luo Ye loudly, and the people around him laughed together. Just you, a bunch of ignorant lowly people. Trash. Luo Ye cursed Xue'er. Brothers, come together, let's rob money, food and women. Xue'er stopped talking nonsense, and after a shout, he rushed towards Luo Ye waving the blue sword in his hand. Chapter 367, Kneel down if you don't want to die. Just like last time, Luo Ye immediately released his strongest skill towards Xue'er and the others who were charging at him. Iron cavalry trampling. Wild roaring. Xue'er had seen several of Luo Ye's skills on the hill just now, and he had a basic understanding of Luo Ye's tactics. He led the others to charge just now just to make Luo Ye release his strongest skill, Iron Cavalry Trampling. After discovering that Luo Ye had already released his strongest skill, Iron Cavalry Trampling, Xue'er immediately roared and released the counter skill Wild Roaring. The air in front of Xue'er vibrated violently, and an invisible energy wave gushed out from around his body, colliding head-on with the energy cavalry summoned by Luo Ye's skill. Bang! With a muffled sound, the two huge energy waves collided with each other, causing energy light to splash everywhere. Luo Ye's energy cavalry was all smashed to pieces, but Xue'er's wild roaring energy wave continued to sweep forward for a while, directly knocking Luo Ye back and knocking the people behind him out. The people behind Luo Ye were knocked away 7 or 8 meters, and then they fell to the ground in a very embarrassing way. When they got up and sat on the ground, most of the energy of their armor had been drained. Luo Ye also retreated 2 or 3 meters before he could barely stabilize his body. He couldn't help but feel horrified. It seemed that he had encountered a tough opponent. The strength was overwhelming. Xiafeng, Wang Man and others were all terrified. They really didn't expect that there would be such a master among the refugees. Come again, weren't you very arrogant just now? Why are you so scared? Xue'er approached Luo Ye, Xiafeng and others step by step. Xue'er's situation was actually not much better than Luo Ye at this time, and he even suffered more serious injuries. Xue'er had the advantage of level and attributes. Luo Ye, however, had a full set of purple equipment, and both attack and defense were higher than Xue'er. However, Xue'er's fighting roar skill just now had a feature, that is, while blasting the opponent away, he could keep himself stable in place. Luo Ye didn't have Jin Ke's health plug-in, so he couldn't tell that Xue'er was more seriously injured than him at this time, and he was a little weaker than him in terms of momentum. Are you a DDD level master? Luo Ye asked Xue'er with a pale face. Ha 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 ha. You have some vision. Not bad. Your grandfather was already a DDD level master. One more step, and I will be a C-level master. Xue'er looked proud. Xue'er has a certain level advantage now, but his equipment is disadvantageous. His overall strength is actually on par with Luo Ye, but after the fight just now, he knew he would win, because he has several D-level masters under his command, who can come up and replace him at any time. And except Luo Ye, The other people on the other side are obviously civilians. If they fight in a group, Luo Ye will kneel down after a round of fighting. The others are nothing to be afraid of. But Xue'er didn't want to attack by force, because it would lead to the loss of his own members. In addition, his purpose was not to kill people, but to rob hostages and demand a higher ransom from the Yuan base. If the person on the other side died, he wouldn't get much benefit. Therefore, it was the best way to scare the other party with words and make them surrender without a fight. You are a DDD level strongman who is about to enter the C level. If you enter the shelter, you will at least be a grassroots supervisor. If you are in the base, you can manage a high-level post station. You can even work harder and become a deputy supervisor of the base. Why do you have to hang out among the refugees? After Luo Ye and Xue'er fought for a round, he found that he didn't have the advantage. So he decisively backed off and started to talk to each other. You have no ambition. Do you know the old saying that it's better to be the head of a chicken than the tail of a phoenix? Xue'er snorted coldly. I think we are equally strong. There is no point in fighting anymore. Why don't we sit down and have a good talk? Luo Ye took the initiative to propose peace talks to Xue'er. Equal strength? Bullshit. Do you think these dozen D-level masters I brought with me are just watching the fun? Xue'er waved his hand, and the minions around him raised their weapons and screamed. You have companions, and we have many people here, so who is afraid of who? Luo Ye argued, but his voice was slightly trembling, which clearly revealed his inner fear at this time. These refugees are too untrustworthy. It was said that he was a D-level leader. Luo Ye thought that with his DD-level cultivation and full purple clothes, he could easily come here to show off. Unexpectedly, the other party was DDD level, and those around him, Luo Ye didn't believe that they were all D-level masters. But, what if there were one or two of them? Wouldn't he be dead today? A DDD level master was actually mixed in with the refugees, which was incredible. It was like a student who was admitted to Tsinghua University, with a normal mind and body, but begging on the street. A lot of people? A bunch of office idiots are considered people? I'm going to tell you what a lot of people means. Xue'er suddenly threw out a few heads from his storage bracelet, and he was holding a head in his hand. Seeing the head in Xue'er's hand, everyone in the post station recognized it at a glance. It was Wei, the supervisor of their post station, and the heads rolling on the ground were all the security personnel of their post station. As expected, they have met with misfortune. Don't be like this. If you have something to say, please talk about it nicely. Luo Ye, who usually lives a life of luxury under the protection of his father, has never seen such a posture. Seeing the head in Xue'er's hand and the heads rolling on the ground, his legs were so scared that he had no intention of fighting at this time. He only wanted to save his life and not let Xue'er chop off his head. What the hell? If you don't dare to fight, kneel down, all of you, otherwise, kill them all. Your heads will be stuck on the wooden stakes outside. Xue'er shouted and rushed towards Luo Ye and others with a big knife. Everyone around him also rushed over in a show of force. After Luo Ye and Xue'er exchanged a move, he thought he was defeated. After seeing the bloody head of Supervisor Wei, the last bit of resistance in his heart disappeared without a trace. His legs, which had been shaking, fell to the ground involuntarily. Kneel down if you don't want to die. After seeing Luo Ye kneeling in fear, Xue'er shouted at Xiafeng, Wang Man, Wang Shuai and others behind Luo Ye. Xiafeng, Wang Man, Wang Shuai and others originally wanted to give it a try, but they didn't expect Luo Ye to kneel down so quickly. At this time, they were extremely frightened, worried that Xue'er would chop off their heads in anger. After Xue'er shouted again, they knelt down to him one after another. Chapter 368. Keep your distance. You can't kill me. I am the son of Lu Tanhao, the director of Yuan base, the king among the newcomers. If you you kill me, Yuan base will definitely not give up, and it will not do any good to you. If you don't kill me, you whatever you want, I can make them do their best to meet your requirements. We can sit down and have a good talk about this matter. Luo Ye knelt down and asked Xue'er with trembling mouth, go to hell. If you want to talk, I will stand. and you will talk on your knees. Hand over your weapons and take off this purple skin, otherwise, I will kill you with a knife first. Guisanba held the big knife in both hands, ready to attack again at any time. The others also held weapons and shouted about beheading and killing. After knowing that Luo Ye was the son of Lu Tanhao, the director of Yuan base, Guisanba was ecstatic. It seemed that he could make a fortune today. If it was an ordinary young man, Yuan base would definitely not pay a high price to redeem him. But Lu Tanhao was different. The Lu family was a well-known wealthy family in the entire Green Plains shelter. I didn't expect that this silly son would take the initiative to run to the post station to be a hostage. It was really strange at first, but after seeing Wang Man behind Luo Ye, Guisanba immediately understood something. Don't be angry, I'll listen to you, no matter what you ask. It's easy to talk about. Luo Ye obediently threw the purple swallowing moon knife in his hand to Guisanba, and then took off his purple armor one by one. Seeing that the situation was hopeless, the others also threw away their weapons and took off all kinds of armor on their bodies. In this situation, they can only be hostages to the other party first, as long as the other party does not kill them and does not raise conditions that the base cannot accept. They still have a chance to be redeemed. These refugees are short of food and clothing. Killing people will not benefit them. They must just want to exchange for some urgently needed supplies. Except for that pretty girl. Beat up and tie up all of them. Guisanba didn't expect these people to be so easily frightened. They all surrendered before he could finish his harsh words. To avoid future troubles, of course, he had to beat them up and tie them up first. The minions rushed forward and beat up Luo Ye, Xiafeng, Wang Shuai and others and tied them up. Bring that pretty girl here to relieve my anger. Although Guisanba was the leader of the refugees and had no shortage of women around him, they were all ugly women with stinky bodies and dirty clothes. How could they have the chance to come into contact with such a soft and fragrant woman? From the first moment he saw Wang Man, Guisanba couldn't control himself. He had already planned that once he took over this post station, the first thing he would do was to deal with Wang Man first, and then talk about other things after having a good time. No, senior brother Lu, save me. Wang Man was so scared that her face turned pale and she kept asking Luo Ye for help. If she gets fucked by Guisanba, she'll be screwed. No, fucked by the dog. You can imagine how dirty his thing is. It must have not been washed for many days. Wouldn't it bring all the dirt into her body? It's estimated that there are all kinds of viruses, and all kinds of dirt that can never be washed clean. I'm afraid I will have to deal with all kinds of gynecological diseases for the rest of my life. When Luo Ye heard Wang Man's cry for help, he quickly turned his face away. He was worried that Wang Man would implicate him after calling him, and he would be beaten or killed by Guisanba. Ha 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 ha. What a little beauty. Guisanba couldn't wait to pounce on Wang Man. Boss, over there. There is an ugly boy at the entrance of the post station. He hasn't knelt yet. He looks so arrogant when he looks at this side. A thug ran over and reported to Guisanba. Guisanba, who was about to take off his pants to have a good time, heard what the thug said and looked in the direction of his finger. Sure enough, at the wall not far behind Luo Ye, Xiafeng and others, that is, at the entrance of the Luo 7 post station, there was a tall and thin man standing against the wall with his arms folded, looking at this side coldly. Because the clothes the man was wearing were the same color as the wall, and he had been standing there very quietly, they had never noticed him before. Who are you? Why are you looking at Grandpa like that? Guisanba was very unhappy with Jin Ke's, and took a few big steps to walk over and shouted at Jin Ke. Do your job well, don't cause trouble. I was sent by the Qingtai Mountain base to reinforce the post station for guarding. If you don't enter the post station, we will not interfere with each other. Jin Ke answered Guisanba. Oh, this bird post station also asked for help from the Qingtai Mountain base, and the Qingtai Mountain post station also sent them a master. Don't you think this is interesting? Ha ha ha. Guisanba pointed at Jin Ke and laughed. Interesting, very interesting. Brat, kneel down and call me Grandpa, or I'll make you look good. A group of minions also followed suit. What a bunch of ignorant people. Jin cursed. Just now, when he saw Luo Ye and others being beaten and Wang Man being dragged over, He didn't take action because he didn't like these people at all and didn't want to take action, but the mission of the base still had to be completed. So he stood at the entrance of the post station to protect the safety of the post station. Unexpectedly, this group of people actually took the initiative to provoke him. "Bitch, who are you scolding? Do you believe that I will slap you to death?" Guisanba didn't expect that the boy was so stubborn, and he couldn't help but get angry. It seems that the matter of venting heat should be put aside. First, tie up this ignorant boy on the ground and beat him up. It looks like this business is worth it. Not only can we extort money from the Yuliuan base, but we can also extort money from the King Deshan base. After walking closer and taking a look at Jin Ke, Guisanba took several steps back. "What bad luck. You are so ugly that I am so scared that my stick is soft. You are too annoying. If I don't chop you off first today, I won't be able to deal with that girl." Guisanba cursed. Now he doesn't even have the interest to tie up Jin Ke. How could anyone redeem him when he is so ugly? It's so fucking ugly. You ruined our boss's mood. Why don't you kneel down and kowtow to confess your guilt? A group of minions surrounded Jin Ke and were amazed. "That kid named G, come and kneel down. Don't make this boss angry and implicate us." Luo Ye shouted to Jin Ke. "Yes, come and kneel down." Wang Shui and several other people also shouted to Jin Ke. "I don't know why the King Tai Mountain base sent such a useless thing here. He can't help at all, and he wants to hurt people at this time." Wang Man couldn't help but curse a few words, as if Jin Ke had harmed them to this point. Chapter 369, Lack of Vision. "Kneel down, kowtow to me and beg for mercy. Maybe I will spare your life." Guisanba thought that even if this man was ugly, after being caught, because it involved the affairs of the two bases, the King Tai Mountain base might give some ransom for the sake of face. No matter how small a mosquito is, it is still meat. "You'd better go back and continue what you haven't finished. Don't look for trouble. I came here to guard the post station. As long as you don't enter the post station, I will temporarily spare your life." Jin Ke was still hesitating whether to rescue people. After hearing what Luo Ye, Wang Man and others said just now, he had no desire to rescue people at all. How shameless. There are such shameless people in the world. Wang Man continued to curse after hearing what Jin Ke said. How did King Tai Mountain base cultivate such idiots? What's the point of angering them at this time? Luo Ye also echoed Wang Man. "That's right, it's fine if you brag in front of us, but bragging in front of these masters, are you trying to kill us?" Wang Shui and others also cursed Jin Ke after hearing what Jin Ke said just now. "Guarding the post station? You won't let me enter the post station? Who do you think you are, you bitch? You dare to call me a dog? If I don't teach you a lesson today, you don't know how powerful I am." Guisanba was very unhappy after hearing what Jin Ke said just now. The big knife in his hand was full of wind, and a crosscut wrapped in a huge energy wave slashed at Jin Ke. This idiot is really asking for death. Misfortunes from heaven can be forgiven, but those who bring misfortune cannot live. Luo Ye was very emotional. "Kneel down and say a few words nicely. You can try not to be abused, and wait for the base to bring money and supplies to redeem you. You offended the boss with your rude words, and you want us to suffer with him." Wang Man continued to speak ill of him. "That's right. You don't know how high the sky is. Do you think this place is the same as their base?" Wang Shui and others continued to sneer. Guisanba's cross suddenly slashed towards the place where Jin Ke was standing. The power was so strong that the wall behind Jin collapsed. The collapsed wall raised billowing smoke and dust, and then the smoke and dust turned green. Wild drawer, Guisanba used his strongest skill and blew away half of the green smoke and dust in an instant. But the next second, Guisanba and Jin Ke's figures were covered by green dust again. Metal clashed and screams were heard in the smoke and dust. The idiot was hacked to death. He deserved it. He asked for it. What happened today was all caused by him. If the King Moss Mountain base sent a strong man instead of this idiot, we wouldn't have ended up like this. Luo Ye, Wang Man and others continued to discuss. This brat is really ignorant of the heaven and earth. He actually dared to provoke our boss Kui. Do you know who our boss Kui is? Tell us boss Kui to get out. And he called our boss Kui a dog? I think he doesn't want to live anymore. Now he was chopped into several pieces by our boss Kui. right? Ha 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 ha. 20 or so refugee elites looked at the billowing smoke and made all kinds of ridicule. As for why the smoke was green, no one thought about it carefully. What's so strange? Maybe there is green dust inside the wall. 10 seconds later, the smoke dissipated. A thin and ugly man emerged from the dispersing smoke. He was holding a head in his hand. Xue'er's head. The armor and weapons on Xue'er's body on the ground had obviously been confiscated by Jin Ke and put into the storage bracelet. Not only that, Jin Ke also found a good quality storage bracelet from Xue'er. There seemed to be a lot of treasures in it, but he didn't have time to examine it carefully for the time being. Gulilu. Jin Ke threw Xue'er's head in front of a group of elite refugees. Get lost. I'm just here to guard the post station. I don't want to kill too many people, Jin Ke said to the refugees lightly. The whole place became extremely quiet. It's not right. Shouldn't he be killed by the refugee leader? Luo Ye had an extremely shocked expression on his face. How can he still be alive? It's so strange. He actually killed the refugee leader. I finally kept my innocence. Wang Man was surprised and secretly thankful. Are you sure it wasn't him who died? Wang Shui was a little dazed and couldn't react for a while. Is his strength higher than that of the refugee leader? What level would that be? Xiafeng, the temporary supervisor of the post station, was also extremely shocked. Brothers, he killed our boss. Come on together. Kill him. Everything we grab is ours. A man who looked like a deputy leader of the refugees shouted to the other elite refugees, then picked up the weapon in his hand and rushed towards Jin Ke. Let's go together. Kill him. The elite refugees followed the deputy leader and rushed towards Jin Ke. These refugees have reached the end of their rope. If they don't take down this post station, it will be difficult for them to hold on. Now they are just a group of desperate people. Alas. Jin Ke sighed softly, and the pure heart in his hand made a crisp sound of clang, and the stagnant soul glowed orange. A green energy wave was swung towards him, and the whole person turned into a light and shadow and killed the refugees. In an instant, the green mist enveloped the entire battle area. Half a minute later, the green mist dissipated. More than 20 refugees all fell to the ground. Only Jin Ke was still standing. The pure heart in his hand was still dripping with blood. The orange pure heart rotated a few times in Jin Ke's hand, and after shaking off the blood on it, it was taken back into the special storage ring. I didn't realize that Xue'er was so powerful. These refugees are no match for them. We are so blind. Xiafeng said a few words to Jin Ke in shame. I always thought that the Qingtai Mountain base sent an insignificant little character to rescue the battle. But I didn't expect that the one who came was a real master. Xue'er, who was at the DDD level, didn't even last more than 10 seconds in his hands. What does this mean? This means that his strength has reached the level of a C-level strongman. Qingtai Mountain base sent a C-level strongman to rescue them, but they were so negligent and sarcastic. What they did was really embarrassing. Great, you defeated them. Help us untie the ropes. Luo Ye shouted to Jin Ke. Help me untie them. These dirty lowly people are so hateful. Wang Man also shouted to Jin Ke. Jin Ke ignored them and went straight to the pile of spoils that Xue'er had just seized. He put Luo Ye's purple-equipped swallowing moonblade, a full set of purple equipment, and Wang Man's blue-equipped crossbow into his storage bracelet. He would need a lot of good stuff to exchange for the 2S-level soul-splitting agent from the space-time merchant. Although Jin couldn't use Luo Ye's weapons and equipment, they were all purple equipment and were still worth a few dollars when used to exchange for things. Chapter 370. Mastering the Discourse. Hey, that's my equipment. You can't take it. Luo Ye found that Jin Ke had taken all his equipment and didn't seem to be going to give it back to him, so he quickly shouted to Jin Ke. This is the spoils I seized from the refugee leader. What does it have to do with you? Jin Ke said back to Luo Ye. This whole set of purple equipment does not belong to me. It belongs to the Yuliuan base. You can't take it privately. You must return it to me, otherwise, I will notify your King Tashan base to punish you. Luo Ye lost this set of equipment and couldn't go back to the base to explain, so he could only bite the bullet and force Jin Ke to give it back. Must punish? You are really funny. Jin Ke snorted coldly. He didn't like this group of people in the first place. Even if Luo Ye begged him kindly at this time, he would not return the equipment to him. let alone this attitude. Brother Luo, we have more people. We can tell the base together that he colluded with the refugees to attack us and steal the equipment. Wang Shuai reminded Luo a few words. You can't take these equipments, otherwise, we will tell the King Moss Mountain base that you colluded with those refugees to attack us and steal our equipments. Luo thought it made sense and immediately threatened Jin Ke. Oh, there is such a trick. Jin couldn't help but open his eyes. You dared to take our equipment. This is the consequence. We are many people, and we all say that you colluded with refugees to attack us. Who do you think the two bases will believe? Humphrey. Wang Man also helped Luo with a few words. Although she was a little dissatisfied with Luo's attitude of not caring when Kui Sanba was about to force herself on her, Luo was the son of Lu Tanhao, the director of the base, so of course she had to speak for Luo. Will you all agree with their claims of turning black into white? Jin Ke asked the others. It's wrong for you to take Brother Lu's weapons. You should return them to him. Yuan base has done a favor to your King Tashan base. If you can honestly return the weapons and equipment to Brother Lu for colluding with the refugees to attack us, we won't bother with you. That's right. If the matter is really exposed, it will be very bad for you. In order to flatter Luo, the others quickly echoed what Luo and Wang Man said. Only Xiafeng, the temporary supervisor of the post station, did not speak. He sighed softly. What I hate most in my life is being framed. Do you think you can do whatever you want just because you have more people? Jin Ke sneered. He just saved their lives, but they didn't say a word of thanks. Instead, they were ready to collectively frame him and put him in an unjust position. If you don't want to be exposed for colluding with the refugees, just listen to us and do what we ask. We will also say a few good words to the King Tai Mountain base on your behalf, so that you can successfully complete the task of protecting the post station. Luo thought Jin Ke was scared, so he added a few more words. Brother Luo is the son of Director Luo of the Yuan base. You should weigh the weight of your words carefully, and never do anything that will make you regret. Wang Man also added a few more words. The Yuan base is the largest and most prosperous base in the Green Plains shelter. Because of the good environment, the senior management of the Green Plains shelter regards Yuan as a good place for leisure and vacation, just like the backyard of the Green Plains shelter. As employees of the Yuan base, Luo and Wang Man have an instinctive sense of superiority. In their eyes, the King Tai Mountain base is located in a poor mountain and bad water, and is very backward, so they naturally look down on the people of the King Tai Mountain base. You mean, with more people, you can have the right to speak. With more people, you can turn black into white. With more people, you can easily frame someone's innocence. Jin crossed his arms. You have to think it over, and return my weapons and equipment to me quickly. Luo answered Jin Ke. You look pretty good. If you are willing to listen to Senior Brother Luo might introduce you to work in Yuan. Yuan is much better than your poor place, but if you don't know what's good for you, with Senior Brother Luo's power, you can't move an inch in the entire Green Plains shelter. Wang Shuai threatened Jin Ke nakedly. It seems that I can only return the equipment to you. Jin Ke looked thoughtful. You only have this choice. Luo was relieved. Although he was the son of Lu Tanhao, the director of the Yuan base, he sneaked out of the base and lost his full set of purple equipment to the refugees. It would be difficult to explain when he returned. Of course, after returning, he would not say that it was Jimengan who repelled the refugees. He would let the people at the post station unify their statements and say that he repelled the refugees and saved the post station. It would definitely be a great achievement when he returned. As for Jimengan, this person is too annoying. Luo has already started thinking about how to poison the food and kill him after returning to the post station. Otherwise, once he exposes today's events, his reputation as the new generation of king will be ruined. No, I have another choice. Jin Ke shook his head at Luo. What choice? Luo frowned. This man really didn't know how to show respect. It is true that the power of public opinion can melt gold, but if the minority becomes the majority, the result will be very different. Jin Ke answered Luo. What do you mean? Luo didn't quite understand. You will know soon. After Jin Ke finished speaking, he took a few steps forward and hooked Luo's neck with his left hand, and with a clang sound, he He took out the dagger Pure Heart from his right hand. "What are you going to do? You dared to kill me? Do you know who I am? Do you know what you are doing? Do you still want to stay in the Green Plains shelter?" Luo Ye understood the meaning of Jinke's words in an instant, and was horrified. "Let go of senior brother Luo, you can't do this." Wang Man also shouted at Jinke, "No, you will get into big trouble." Xia Feng was also anxious. "If you dare to touch Master Luo, there will be no place for you in this world." Wang Shui also threatened Jinke. They never expected that Jinke actually wanted to kill Luo Ye. Does he want to be an enemy of the entire Yuan base, or even the entire shelter? Jinke snorted coldly and put the dagger on Luo Ye's neck. "Please let me go. I can give you whatever you want." Luo Ye was really panicked now. "I only want your life now." In front of everyone, Jinke pretended to be Pure Heart and gently wiped it, and then hit Luo Ye's head with his other hand. Luo Ye immediately stopped shouting and fell unconscious. Others thought Jin killed Luo Ye, and they all showed fear in their eyes. They had a premonition that the situation was not good. After dealing with Luo Ye, Jinke walked straight to Wang Man, who was tied up. Chapter 371 Birds of a Feather. The others watched Jinke approach Wang Man with trepidation. Was he going to continue the unfinished work of the refugee leader Sanba? Men are indeed animals. He couldn't stand seeing a pretty girl like Wang Man and wanted to relieve his anger. He hoped that Wang Man could handle him and let him relieve his anger so that he wouldn't kill them. Of course, they could also feast their eyes now. You know, most of them have coveted Wang Man for a long time, and it seems that they will never have the chance to have something unspeakable with Wang Man in this life. Watching Jinke and Wang Man perform on the spot, putting themselves in the shoes of the male protagonist, and watching a live-action movie can also slightly satisfy their cravings. Ugly silver thief, what do you want to do? Wang Man saw that Jinke killed Luo Ye and walked straight towards her. She couldn't help but scold Jinke with a red face, and her body tried to move back, as if she was afraid that Jinke would violate her. "What do you think I want to do to you?" Jinke came to Wang Man and squatted down. "You dead silver thief, what clean thoughts can you have in your head? Even if I die, I will not let you defile my holy body." Wang Man gritted her teeth. "You think too much." Jinke shook his head, and after walking over, he put his left hand around Wang Man's neck as before, and showed his pure heart in his right hand. "Don't kill me. You can do whatever you want to me. Don't kill me, please." Wang Man trembled and begged Jinke loudly. "Didn't you choose to die? Why do you regret it so soon? So unambitious?" Jinke was a little surprised. "Please don't kill me. As long as you can spare my life, you can do anything to me. I won't think you are ugly. You can do whatever you want. Please, don't kill me." Wang Man burst into tears with snot and tears. What made her most depressed and embarrassed now was that Jinke had no interest in her beauty that she was proud of. She just scolded him as a silver thief and asked him not to defile her, which was all her self-conceit. "You are such a disgusting woman." Jinke pretended to wipe his throat, but actually covered it with his body. He hit Wang Man's back of the head hard, causing her to stop begging for mercy. Everyone else at the scene was dumbfounded. This person is totally unconventional. He is unknown and ugly, but who would have thought that he has the strength of a DDD-level warrior? He dared to kill the son of the director of the Yuan base. Wang Man is such a beautiful girl tied to the ground. With such a beautiful girl in front of her, you should at least rape her first and then kill her. He didn't want to do that, and directly wiped her throat. It was simply a waste of nature's gift. This is the end. This ugly bastard Jin killed Luo Ye and Wang Man. If the Yuan base knew about it, Luo Ye's father Lu Tanhao would not let it go. Even if he didn't personally hunt Jinke down and report to the Yuan shelter, Jin would not be able to escape the death penalty. Therefore, he would definitely kill to silence them, and he would kill them all. Sure enough, after dealing with Wang Man, Jinke walked towards the other people tied to the ground. The saying birds of a feather flock together is true. When Jinke came here, they had all kinds of superiority, ridiculed him, and looked down on him. When Luo Ye came here, they even urged Jinke to compete with Luo Ye, and used all kinds of humiliation in their words. Jinke didn't bother with them, or rather, he didn't bother with them. The refugee leader Sanba defeated Luo Ye, confiscated all their weapons and equipment, and then tied up Wang Man to vent his anger. Although Jin Ke did not take the initiative to rescue them. In fact, it was Jin Ke who defeated Sanba and rescued them. Since it was Jin Ke who defeated Sanba, the weapons and equipment that Sanba had taken away were all taken back by Jin Ke alone, so naturally they all belonged to Jin Ke. As a result, they were actually going to frame Jin Ke for colluding with refugees. What kind of people are they? They have been pampered for so long that their brains are not working well. There is naturally no need to be polite to deal with this group of unkind and unjust people. Of course, Jin Ke would not be a saintly bitch or a womanly woman and let them go, and then be bitten back by them and put himself in a dangerous situation. Master Ji, we know we are wrong. Please forgive us. We were also forced by Luo Ye's silver power to say those things against our will. Please forgive us. We will never say that you killed that little beast Luo Ye. That's right, we can sign a contract and never say that you killed them. We will say whatever you want us to say. Seeing Jin Ke kill Luo Ye and Wang Man in succession, these people were extremely scared and begged Jin Ke repeatedly, "Don't kill me. I'm not an NPC. I'm a player. If I die in the game, I will die in the real world too. Are you a player? Can you understand what I say? Put yourself in my shoes and don't kill me. I can give you whatever you want. My family is very rich in the real world." When Jin Ke came to him, Wang Shui was quick-witted and suddenly brought up his identity as a player. "Are you a player?" Jin Ke looked at Wang Shui with interest. "Yes, I see that your speaking and acting style is also like a player, right? It seems that I guessed right. You know, we are just playing games. What I said to you before was just for fun. Don't take it seriously. Don't be offended." Wang Shui smiled at Jin Ke. "Oh, it's a pity that the plan to frame me was yours. Have you ever thought about the consequences of doing so? If Luo Yuan base really believes what you said and hunts me down in the entire shelter, who should I appeal to?" Jin Ke asked Wang Shui a few questions. "I was wrong. I was just having fun. Don't bother with me. Since you have done it, you must take responsibility." Jin Ke put his left hand around Wang Shui's neck. "How can you be like this, Jimangan? I'll remember you. If you want to kill me and cause me to lose my job, I won't let you go. I've recorded everything that happened just now. Even if you kill me, you can't completely silence me. I'll let my colleagues send the video to Lu Tanhao, the director of the Luo Yuan base. He will never let you go if you kill his son." Wang Shui threatened Jin Ke loudly. "You really deserve to die." Jin Ke punched Wang Shui on the back of his head, and the world suddenly quieted down. "You guessed right. I am also a player. But it's useless for you to record the screen. You will never know who I am." Jin Ke looked at Wang Shui's unconscious body and said a few words to him. Soon, several other people were also killed by Jin Ke in the same way. Only Xiafeng was left in the venue. Xiafeng sighed, closed his eyes and waited for his death. Obviously, Jin Ke's deception was very successful, making him think that Jin Ke had killed all the others. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 372, Premonition of Danger. I think you are the only one who understands among these people. What do you think about what happened in the past 2 days? Jin Ke sat down in front of Xiafeng. From the time he came to the post station to everything that happened later, although Xiafeng was also dissatisfied with the newcomer from Qingtai Mountain, he never humiliated Jin Ke verbally and fulfilled his proper etiquette. What they did was indeed excessive. If I were you, I would have no other choice in the situation just now, but to kill and silence them. Xiafeng was silent for a long time before speaking. "How will you report this to the 2 bases?" Jin Ke asked. "The refugees attacked, and everyone fought hard. Luo Ye, Wang Man and others fought bravely but unfortunately died. In the end, only the 2 of us fought hard and barely repelled the attacking refugees and saved the post station. The weapons and equipment of Luo Ye, Wang Man and others were taken away by the refugees, and the refugees disappeared." Xiafeng thought for a while before speaking. "Unfortunately, They are likely to get the evidence through some channel. Jin glanced at Wang Shuai's fallen body. I don't have to report this to the two bases. Xia Feng thought about it again. Oh, I can become a refugee and let them never find me. Xia Feng made a new choice. Do you want to continue living? Jin looked at Xia Feng. Yes, I want to live. I'm still young. Xia Feng answered Jin. Okay, sign the contract. Jin cut the rope on Xia Feng with a dagger. Back at the post station, Xia Feng and Jin signed an extremely detailed and strict contract, which stated that he could not have the intention of harming Ji Mengan at any time in his life, and once Ji Mengan gave him any order, he must obey unconditionally, otherwise he would die. This kind of contract restricts the person who signs the contract, and it doesn't matter whether the name is true or false. With this contract, Jin can rest assured to keep him alive. In a sense, signing this contract is equivalent to Xia Feng becoming Jin's slave, and Jin can kill him at any time. Of course, if he had no intention to harm Jin would not have tormented him for no reason. Perhaps after Jin left the post station, the two would never meet again. It must be said that the contract and the game world is a very good setting. If it can be brought to the real world and everyone in the real world has the spirit of contract, the world will definitely be much better. They are not dead. Although they humiliated me and tried to frame me, they are not guilty of death. In other words, I have a better and less violent choice. Jin Ke revealed the answer to Xia Feng at this time. Xia Feng looked at Jin Ke with some surprise. Now wake them up one by one to sign the contract. I didn't kill them. The same contract. Those who are willing to sign it, let them live, but they will no longer have the opportunity to frame me. I thank Xia for not killing them on their behalf. Xia Feng looked at Jin Ke with great emotion. After Luo Ye and Wang Man woke up after being splashed with cold water, they found that they were not dead. They no longer looked arrogant. They signed a contract with Jin Ke and became his lifelong slaves. As for the equipment that Jin Ke had taken back, it was impossible for them to ask Jin Ke for it. Luo Ye had to report to the Yuliuan base according to the agreement of the contract and describe Ji Mengan as a great hero. Wang Shuai, as a player, had already known the cruelty of the game world. Once he died in the game world, he would also die in the real world. He had to sign a contract with Ji Mengan in the game world. Others also signed contracts one by one. At dinner, everyone served Ji Mengan like a slave, serving tea and water. They were completely different from before. There was no way. As soon as Jin Ke made a move, they had to cut off their own bones. No, cut off their own bones. Their lives were in the hands of others, so they had to bow their heads. Jin gained a lot from this trip to the Luo 7 post station. Let's not talk about Luo Ye's equipment. What Jin is most interested in is his future technology exoskeleton, which can triple his walking speed. With this exoskeleton, it is much more convenient for Jin to walk in the wild, almost comparable to riding a horse, which is both labor-saving and fast. Kui Sanbo also contributed a lot of treasures to Jin Ke. First of all, he has a storage bracelet with a space of 27 cubic meters, which is a good treasure in itself. In addition, this 27 cubic meter storage bracelet contains an energy core containing at least hundreds of thousands of energy points. However, the most important thing in his storage bracelet is a complete set of post-station level energy shield generation devices. After placing them, as long as there are enough energy cores, a relatively safe resting place can be opened up in the darkness of the night. Night. Are you familiar with the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth? Jin Ke and Xia Feng were lying on the ground of the post station, chatting while looking at the hideous black fog outside the energy shield. Do you want to find the time and space merchant? Xia Feng seemed to know something about this. Yes, it is said that there is a time-space merchant who resides at the bottom of the Dongling Mountain maze. He will occasionally go up to the upper floors, but only to the 5th or 6th floors at most. I have never heard of him appearing on higher floors. The difficulty coefficient of that maze is very high. Those below level B can only enter the 1st floor to hunt energy points. A large part of those who go down to the 2nd floor never come back alive. None of those below level B who went in and came back alive have ever gone to the 3rd floor. It is said that there is a very powerful alien insect boss on the 3rd floor. Under normal circumstances, The time-space merchant stays on the 18th floor of the Dongling Mountain maze. It is harder to see him than to ascend to heaven. Moreover, I don't know who spread the rumor that the time-space merchant resides in Dongling Mountain. Anyway, I don't think it is very credible. To be able to enter the 18th floor of the maze alive, his cultivation should be at least SSS level, right? After an SSS level expert knows such a secret, how could he tell others? Xiafeng analyzed. Do you know about the horror city? Jin Ke changed the subject. It seemed that Xiafeng didn't know much more about the Dongling Mountain labyrinth than he did. Yes. Then do you know who leaked the news about the horror city? I don't know. Maybe it was the ruler of the plane, Xiafeng speculated. Jin Ke didn't say anything else. The ruler of the plane mentioned by the natives of the game world should be the system mentioned by the players. For a game, the system determines everything and dominates everything. For the game world, the system naturally becomes the ruler of the plane. The next morning, it normally takes 15 to 20 hours to travel from Luo 7 station to the Dongling Mountain labyrinth, but with the exoskeleton, Jin Ke can shorten the time to 5 to 6 hours. 2 hours after setting off, Jin Ke encountered a wave of corpses with a number of about 100. Of course, it didn't cause him any trouble. 10 minutes later, Jin Ke encountered another wave of corpses with a number of dozens. A few minutes later, there was another wave. This wave of corpses reached hundreds. After encountering several waves of black corpses numbering from dozens to hundreds within an hour, Jin Ke felt that something was not right. He simply moved quickly in the direction of the black corpses, wanting to see why these black corpses gathered in that direction. Half an hour later, he saw an extremely shocking scene. On the ground, there were more than 100,000 black corpses gathered. They all looked up at the sky, just like devout believers worshipping their gods, with extremely fanatical expressions. In the broad daylight, in the relatively clear sky of the game world, a large mass of black fog actually appeared. A very hideous mass of black fog kept rolling and struggling in a certain position in the air. Yes, to Jin Ke, it felt like this mass of black fog was struggling. In addition, when Jin Ke saw this mass of black fog, he also had the palpitations that he had when he was tied to the life and death stake that night, a strong premonition of danger. No way. The black fog at night appeared in broad daylight. Chapter 373 Space Jump. Area warning. Area warning. 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 An illegal intrusion from another dimension is detected nearby. Warning. Warning. The space is being torn apart. Warning. Warning. A space jump is about to happen. Warning. Warning. The system is being repaired. Warning. Warning. Please evacuate the area quickly, to avoid being injured by mistake. Warning. Warning. Jin Ke suddenly received many red warnings from the system. Some excitement cannot be watched, otherwise you may lose your life. After having a bad premonition, he quickly turned around and ran away, and then looked back at the large group of black fog from time to time. Just when Jin Ke looked back again, something strange happened in the sky. A huge round metal disc suddenly rushed out from the large group of black fog. At the same time, the large group of extremely hideous black fog in the sky struggled frantically for a few times, as if it was absorbed by the surrounding space, and suddenly disappeared. Damn, could this be the legendary UFO? Jin Ke looked at the disc-shaped object and couldn't help but think of the UFOs that were often rumored on Earth. From the appearance, it really looked like this. But Jin Ke had never seen this thing in the real world. He didn't expect to see it with his own eyes at such a close distance in the game world. The circular disc-shaped flying object was about 20 meters in diameter. After crashing out of the black fog, it was spinning in the air. It seemed that it hadn't figured out the situation yet. Suddenly, it quickly smashed towards the ground where Jin Ke was. Jin Ke had a bad premonition and quickly moved to the side twice to flee frantically. The circular disc-shaped flying object did not hit the ground directly, but hovered dozens of meters above the ground, just above Jin Ke's body. Jin Ke looked at it again in shock, and only then did he realize that the silver alloy surface of the circular disc-shaped flying object was engraved with a large number of runes. Jin Ke quickly used the virtual mobile phone screen to take several screenshots of the circular disc-shaped flying object. Just as he was considering whether to escape quickly to avoid being attacked or captured by the circular disc-shaped flying object, Several light balls flew over from nowhere and hit the circular disc-shaped flying object like missiles. The circular disc-shaped flying object suddenly accelerated and rushed into the sky, but the light balls also changed direction and chased it. The circular disc-shaped flying object was extremely fast and kept changing directions to dodge, but in the end it could not escape the attack of the light balls. Several light balls all hit the surface of the circular disc-shaped flying object. The circular disc-shaped flying object was blown out with blue energy halos, and the residual power spread to the corpse tied under the ground. Thousands of black corpses fell to the ground in an instant. More light balls flew from all directions, chasing the circular disc-shaped flying object in the sky. Seeing this tragic scene, Jin Ke felt that if he was affected by it, his life would most likely be lost. He quickly manipulated the mechanical exoskeleton and fled away at high speed. The round disc-shaped flying object continued to flee madly, fleeing to the higher sky, and soon disappeared with the light balls tracking it. Is it a hidden plot in the game? Jin Ke's heart was pounding. I wonder what kind of creature is in the flying saucer. Intelligent life? This is not a game. This is a real world. Is the flying saucer jumped from another dimension? Are the flying saucers in the real world related to the flying saucers in this game world? It would have been great if I had the opportunity to enter the flying saucer and see what was going on inside. Jin Ke looked at the sky with longing. A few hours later, Jin Ke came to the entrance of the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth. The Dongling Mountain Labyrinth is one of the several large labyrinths explored in the game world. There are all kinds of extremely ferocious alien insects in the inner layer. It is said that this is because there is a time and space crack in the labyrinth that leads directly to the alien insect planet. But each layer of the maze has restrictions that only work on alien insects, and there are various restrictions and partitions inside, which isolate these alien insect areas from each other, making it difficult for them to form insect swarms, which makes the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth the most suitable place to hunt alien insects. With each layer of the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth, the alien insects inside will become stronger and more ferocious, and the terrain of the maze will change every hour without any regular pattern. If you venture too deep, even some strong people may not be able to leave alive. In the end, they were not even killed by alien insects, but got lost in the maze, ate up all the food they brought, and starved to death in it. This makes the jungle function of the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth quite useless, except for ambitious people like Luo Ye, or people with special needs like Jin Ke. Most people are unwilling to waste their time here. Jin Ke dared to come here because his alien Zerg soul skill can be used here. In addition, he also prepared a super-enhanced version of the fire bomb and the super-enhanced version of the sealing vein spirit for this adventure. With these preparations, he thinks he should be able to reach where he wants to go safely. The most important thing is his maze plug-in. The maze plug-in can prevent him from starving to death in the maze because he can't find the way after going deep into the maze, and at the same time help him point out the direction to go. The detection function of the plug-in can also help him figure out the distribution of alien worms in the maze. The wolf sniff tracking skill should also come in handy here. Of course, after entering the maze, Jin Ke will first check whether his maze plug-in can be turned on normally. If not, he will resolutely leave and not joke with his own life. You should know that the alien insects here are not the ordinary ones in Luo Ye laboratory. There are all kinds of more ferocious elite alien insects, even boss-level alien insects. When they came from the cracks of time and space, they were attacked and mutated by dark energy in the endless void, and their strength is extremely strong. Those boss-level alien insects are as strong as S-level martial arts masters. Even the elite team in the King Moss Mountain base cannot match them when they encounter such a boss. When Jin Ke was possessed by Fian, he could clearly feel the strength of S-level warriors. Hunting the 5 elites on the opposite side was just like cutting melons and vegetables. Jin Ke came to Dongling Mountain, although he relied on the skill of Alien Soul to fully suppress the alien insects. He would not take the initiative to provoke those bosses. He only has one life. If the game character dies, he will also die in the real world. Jin Ke came here for 2 purposes. One is to hunt as many energy points as possible. Energy points are simply too important in this game world. You can't do anything without this thing. Of course, the more the better. Secondly, The insect cysts of the elite alien insects hunted by Jin can be used as raw materials for making soul-splitting potion. Chapter 374. A difficult and great task. At the same time, try your luck to find the time and space merchant in the maze and buy the recipe for the soul-splitting agent or the finished soul-splitting agent from him. Hunting an elite Zerg can harvest 2,000 to 3,000 energy points. There is a 5% chance that the cysts of elite Zerg will produce black liquid cysts, which can be used to make soul-splitting agent. Hunting a small Zerg boss can harvest more than 10,000 energy points, but it can guarantee a black liquid cyst used as the main material for making soul-splitting agent. The strength of these Zerg is also proportional to the energy points they can contribute. Hunting a big Zerg boss can harvest about 100,000 energy points, and there is a chance to hunt down the black crystal cysts used as the main material for making soul-splitting agent. Taking the soul-splitting agent will not cause the soul to collapse and die as its name suggests, but it is resistant to soul collapse. According to legend, after taking the soul-splitting agent, you can even restrain the curse of the contract, and you will not die if you violate the contract. But the prerequisite for using the soul collapse agent is to successfully separate a secondary soul after taking the soul separation agent, and successfully separate 2 secondary souls after taking the soul-splitting agent. This means that only multi-soul bodies, and at least 4 soul bodies, can have the opportunity to take the soul collapse agent and restrain the curse of the contract. Until now, no one has made and taken the soul collapse agent, because there has never been a 4-soul body, or a 4-soul body has appeared, but that person has not become a true martial arts master and has no chance to try these things. Therefore, this arduous and great task will be opened up and completed by Jin Ke. After Jin Ke had made up his mind, he entered the Dongling Mountain Maze. The first layer of the Dongling Mountain Maze is full of ordinary alien insects and alien infected bodies. That is, the alien insects and alien infected bodies that Jin Ke encountered in Luo Ye's secret laboratory. There are not many warriors who hunt for alien insects in the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth, because in order to hunt for alien insects, one must have a cultivation level of at least sea level, and it requires the cooperation of many people. If one is not careful, he will be injured by the soul-based spells of the alien insects. For these warriors who have reached sea level, the insect sacs harvested from hunting alien insects do not have much practical value, and the number of energy points that the alien insects can provide is not large. The effort they put into hunting for alien insects is not proportional to the gains, and they are more willing to hunt wild monsters that have no soul-based spell attacks and only physical attacks. It is safe to hunt and there is a chance to harvest energy cores. These alien insects will never explode energy cores. Warriors below sea level are simply looking for death in the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth. Therefore, although many people know about the Dongling Mountain Labyrinth, not many people come here to hunt for energy points, insect sacs, and insect claws. At least Jin Ke did not encounter any after wandering around for a long time. Without the passive skill of the zombie soul and the maze plug-in, Jin Ke would not dare to be so reckless. After Jin entered the maze for more than 10 minutes, the maze plug-in was still not activated. Even if Jin Ke summoned the virtual screen of the mobile phone in his field of vision and manually opened the maze plug-in that had appeared before, there was still no response. Then there are only 2 possibilities. One is that the first level of the Dongling Mountain Maze is too easy, and the plug-in is disdainful to start, and wants to train Jin Ke to crack the first level by himself. The second possibility is that the first level of the Dongling Mountain Maze is very difficult, and the maze plugin is in the process of exploration calculation and has not been officially started. The alien insects in the first level do not pose much threat to Jin Ke, and the maze plugin is not activated for the time being. Jin Ke is not very anxious, and he decides to explore it first. Finally, Jin Ke encountered the first alien insect source in the maze. After seeing Jin Ke, the alien insect source immediately screamed and pounced on him. Roar! Let's see who's uglier. Jin Ke took a deep breath, then roared at the Zerg. Soul spell immunity took effect. The next thing was simple. Jin cast a Fatal Redemption on the Zerg. While releasing the Fatal Redemption skill, he also cast a Good and Evil Arbitration on the Zerg. Then he switched back to the assassin profession and cast a death charge behind the Zerg. Death cut hit the energy node and delivered a super-powered critical hit. The good and evil arbitration cast by Jin Ke landed on himself, making up for the health points lost from the death assault just now. The Zerg body had 2 debuffs, bleeding and poisoning, and became extremely violent in the poisonous fog. However, the violent state did not change the current situation. Jin Ke, whose vision was still very clear in the green fog, was like a file, repeatedly cutting the body of the Zerg body. Although its exoskeleton was extremely hard, and its armor and health points were as high as thousands, it could not withstand the repeated attacks of Jin Ke's death medicine, arbitration of good and evil, and death cut. What was even more terrible was that no matter which direction it fled, a cloud of green fog always appeared in front of it at the right time, making it unable to escape the range of the green fog no matter which direction it fled. 15 minutes later, the Zerg body fell to the ground with a bang, excluding the energy points consumed by the skills. Jin Ke's net income was only more than 1,500 energy points. To be honest, the efficiency was very low. After being immune to the soul attacks of the Zerg body, it was only a matter of time for Jin Ke to kill these Zerg. Jin Ke collected all the insect sacks, insect claws, and the like. These things could be sold for some money in the black market of the shelter. It would be even better if he met a space-time merchant. He could throw all these things to him and see how much he could get in exchange. After hunting down the alien insect, Jin Ke continued to explore the maze. On the one hand, he was looking for the entrance to the second floor, and on the other hand, he was looking for new targets. From the current situation, because he restrained the soul spells of the alien insect, there was no risk at all for him to hunt the alien insect, and he could earn energy points. It was just that the hunting efficiency was too low. It took 15 minutes to hunt one. Hiss! Jin Ke heard a scream not far away. An alien insect, followed by more than 10 alien insect-infected bodies, found Jin Ke and pounced on him fiercely. A lot of energy points. Roar! Roar! Daddy is coming! Jin Ke shouted as he rushed towards the Zerg and Zerg-infected bodies. A moment later, the entire area of the maze was covered by green mist. A light and shadow moved back and forth in the green mist like a meat grinder. After more than 20 minutes, the green mist dissipated, and a Zerg and a dozen Zerg-infected bodies fell to the ground. This time, a total of more than 3,000 energy points were harvested. Chapter 375 Absorption. In the following time, Jin Ke has been hunting around on the first floor of the maze, and he has accumulated tens of thousands of energy points unknowingly. Although Jin Ke is not very satisfied, other new players will be envious if they see this scene. Congratulations on getting the title of Zerg Hunter. Zerg Hunter title, current level LV1. The damage caused to Zerg is increased by 20%, and the damage caused by Zerg is reduced by 20%. 2 days later, the food is almost finished, the drinking water is almost used up, and the storage space is full. I am still wandering around in the first floor of the maze. It seems that I have to go back to replenish some. The plug-in has not been turned on yet. I don't know if it thinks I'm stupid, or for some other reason. There are no black spots in the air here. Jin Ke frowned and thought while dissecting the Zerg source in front of him. He came here just to explore the way this time, and did not want to go down to the 5th floor of the maze at once, so he didn't carry much food and drinking water. In addition, his storage space is almost full, and it is full of insect cysts and claws. After there were too many insect cysts, Jin Ke no longer cared about these insect claws and threw them all away. After picking up the dissected insect cysts, Jin Ke's hungry stomach suddenly twitched. No way, why do I have the urge to eat it? Jin Ke couldn't help but be a little surprised. Soon Jin Ke found that he didn't want to eat the insect cysts, but wanted to absorb them into his body so that his body would no longer be hungry. Inhalation. Jin Ke took the insect cysts in his hands and formed an energy circuit with his body. The last time Jin Ke took the insect cysts in his hands and formed a circuit with his body was in the cave in the mountain. In order to bring the insect cysts out of the underground secret warehouse, he still remembered that his mind was in a trance at that time, and all kinds of strange images appeared in front of his eyes. This time, after Jin Ke took the insect cysts in his hands and formed a circuit with his body, the images in front of him became clearer. This is a very desolate planet. Of course, this desolation means that there are no humans. Without humans, it feels more desolate. But for the Zerg, this planet is not desolate, because the ground mucus is full of strange-shaped bugs, and there are some large multi-legged sacs floating in the air. Last time, Jin Ke was attracted by an inexplicable gravity and walked towards a huge insect nest nearby. The strange-shaped bugs lying around him also looked at him, making all kinds of hisses and screams. But this time, Jin could easily resist the inexplicable gravity and would not walk towards it unconsciously. At the same time, the strange-shaped bugs lying around him ignored him, just like looking at their own kind. These images gradually became blurred. When the images disappeared completely, Jin Ke found that the insect sac in his hand became only a sac skin, and there was nothing inside. At the same time, the hunger and thirst in Jin Ke's body disappeared. Could it be because the body absorbed the insect sac? The system also popped up several prompts in Jin Ke's field of vision. Soul strengthening +1, skin strengthening +1, bone strengthening +1, demonization value +3. Killing people increases the demonization value, and absorbing insect cysts also increases the demonization value. When the demonization value reaches a certain value, will I be demonized? Also, what the hell is skin and bone strengthening? I won't become a bug like Albo, right? Albo was parasitized by bugs. I just ate the insect cysts. Is it reliable to use the insect cysts of alien bugs to divide the soul? Jin Ke had many questions in his mind, but he couldn't find the answers. Those that he couldn't find the answers to were put aside for the time being, and now there are more important things to do. After discovering that insect cysts can solve the problem of hunger and thirst, Jin Ke didn't want to bother running back. There were so many insect cysts in the storage space, enough for him to continue wandering in the maze. Although the demonization value looks a bit strange, killing people can also gain demonization value, so there is nothing to worry about. There are many murderous demons like Luo Ye in the game world, and he has never seen him do anything because of his high demonization value. And the soul, skin, bone strengthening and the like sounded pretty good. At least there was no prompt saying it was insect transformation. 2 hours later, the maze plugin suddenly started up, using a green arrow to guide Jin Ke to the entrance to the second floor of the maze. According to Jin Ke's analysis, there are only 2 reasons why the maze plugin started up at this time. One is that he was too stupid to find the entrance to the second floor of the maze for so long, so he couldn't wait and started it by himself. The second is that the maze is very complicated, and the maze plugin calculated for a long time before finally finding the entrance to the second floor, so it started at this time. With the help of the plugin, Jin Ke found it much easier to find the way. The most terrifying thing about this maze is not how complicated the structure is, but that each of its blocks keeps changing its position, and this change has its own specific rules. It is really difficult for ordinary people to defend and avoid the attacks of alien insects while exploring around in the maze, and to remember the changing rules of each block. At least Jin can't do it. When he used to play games, he had a headache with maze games. Of course, the simple mazes with no changes will not be solved. Just follow the left-hand rule. The Dongling Mountain Maze, for example, cannot be solved by the left-hand rule at all. After entering the second-level maze, Jin became extremely cautious. This place is not as good as the first level. It is full of elite alien insects, and there may also be alien insect small bosses. The maze plugin continued to point the way for Jin Ke. Jin Ke soon found that the plugin deliberately avoided the areas where elite alien insects or alien insect small bosses appeared. It should be trying to lead him to the third level maze as quickly as possible. Great, if he can be led to avoid all monsters and go directly to the entrance of the 6th level maze under the 5th level maze, and directly to the place where the space-time merchant is, Jin Ke will have less trouble. Find the right way, and when the space-time merchant appears a few days later, Jin Ke can come here in advance to guard the place. Men with plugins are different, but soon Jin Ke found that something was wrong. The cheat didn't seem to lead him to the next level, but to a Zerg mini-boss. Fortunately, the cheat didn't take Jin Ke directly to the Zerg mini-boss, but to a place where he could see the Zerg mini-boss. But the Zerg mini-boss and the people fighting with it couldn't see it. Yes, There was a team fighting a Zerg mini-boss. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.